Hey guys, Editor Eric here. I think I mentioned at some point in this episode that I had to move not long after this was recorded, and unfortunately I didn't get a chance to touch this episode until after the move and after I was settled, so, some of the news here might be a little older than usual, but hey, it's not our fault the U.S. is descending into a fascist shithole faster than we can keep up, What a time to be alive, huh? So yeah, enjoy this episode and look forward to the new one. In a brand new location.
In the wild western wastelands of the Great White North, two gay lefty scumbags embark on an endless pursuit for the true meaning of wokeness. This is Woke in the West.
Hello, good evening, good morning, actually, good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good daylight.
Good afternoon. And good evening.
We're recording in the daytime of all things.
Yes, you can see our faces, but for the audio-only listeners, of course, nothing is different. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
The show continues.
Well, a lot has changed since the last episode, as per usual in this fast-paced, topsy-turvy world we live in.
Have tensions escalated as the siege that has laid on American cities continues, with a particular focus in Minnesota after Renee Good was shot in the face unjustifiably by an ICE agent who should not have been in the field if he had been dragged by a car before, which he had been, and that's the excuse the right is using to be like, he should have shot her in the face.
That's why he's so violent.
Even though it's literally in the ICE training that they don't step in front of vehicles and that they are not to use deadly force. Nope. So... we'll get there, but just gonna get off the top of the show and just say that this is being recorded like probably almost 2 weeks since she was killed, Renee Good. America continues its descent into fascism at an accelerant rate that no one has seen before. But Canada first, baby.
But first! Good news from our side of the pond. I mean, it's the same side as America.
It is from the northern side.
Yeah, from the other side of the pond, all the way into the far east. Canada has secured a new trade deal with China after 8 years of tensions. Canadian PM hails strategic partnership with China to adapt to new global realities.
This is the theme of a lot of what Carney's been going around the world and saying lately, is that forging new partnerships, establishing a new world order without America.
Yeah, bold choice of words there.
He's trying to dance so much around the language of just saying, fuck America, without saying it, by being like, Canada is leading the way in a global new world order, because the ways of old are not reliable anymore. Yeah, we know what you're saying, Carney, and a stronger backbone would be nice, but it's nice to see some traces of spine.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people complaining about this on Twitter, a lot of people praising it. I have very mixed emotions about it personally,
About getting closer to China or getting away from America?
Getting closer to China. But, out of the three big superpowers, I don't trust the U.S. anymore. I definitely don't trust Russia.
Russia's barely a superpower.
I think China is probably the least bad of the three. And, hey, you can buy a home for a reasonable price and have a livable wage at your job, apparently, in China. So, maybe it's not all bad.
The infrastructure investment and the work that China has done to lift up the, poverty and make an actual thriving, middle class in their country is commendable for what is supposed to be a communist country,
Just don't make a Winnie the Pooh joke.
Yeah, no jokes about the leaders in power.
Which, a couple of years ago, I would have been like, oh, that's so authoritarian, that's so evil. But now that America is, worse, it doesn't really seem that bad.
Actually, America
which says a lot.
Diminished itself greatly in the world stage and its global standing. So China does seem like the country to get closer to going forward, because the U.S. cannot be trusted militarily. And if there is something that goes down in, say, Taiwan, for example, that doesn't need to involve Canada. China and the U.S. can deal with it, and we don't need to support the U.S. on any front. Though I would like to see Taiwan maintain its sovereignty, but same with Hong Kong and Macau, but China doesn't like that. So, I don't know if I would get along in China, but we just need their trains. We just need their trains and their investment in the people.
Yeah, their infrastructure investments.
Yeah. During the visit, the two sides signed an agreement to cooperate on clean energy and fossil fuels, reopening ministerial Ministerial level talks that had reportedly been frozen for nearly a decade. Yeah, you said 8 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In 2024, only 2% of Canada's crude oil was exported to China.
Yeah, and now apparently China's looking to replace Venezuela's oil with our oil.
Yes.
Because it's better.
Yep. Additional agreement signed covering forestry, culture, and tourism. I don't know what kind of... You can't make a tourism guarantee.
I mean, they're doing visa-free travels now for
That's
Canadians
right.
to celebrate. You remember that?
Yeah, actually, that's a part of the announcement.
Yep.
Oh, and of course, there's the electric car.
Yep,
announcement.
new EVs coming to Canada.
49,000 electric cars in 5 years going to be coming from China.
I'm actually really excited about that.
On the road.
I'm actually pretty stoked about that. I don't even drive cars, but if I was to get a car, I would get a Chinese EV.
Those electric cars have some incredible range for their battery life. Yeah. The value is there.
But the Chinese government uses it to spy on you. It's going to
collapse the North American auto industry. And yeah, you know what?
And Tesla doesn't? Semi-related to the last
this
article,
is the
though.
full
the electric cars.
Spiel.
Breaking with the United States, Canada has agreed to cut its 100% tariff on Chinese electric cars in return for lower tariffs on Canadian farm products. Carney made the announcements after 2 days of meetings with Chinese leaders. He said there would be an initial annual cap of 49,000 vehicles on Chinese EV exports to Canada, growing to about 70,000 over 5 years.
I forgot that.
China will reduce its total tariff on canola seeds, a major Canadian export, from 84% to 15%. Wow. That's a huge drop in tariffs.
I got the vehicle number wrong. It's 70,000 over 5 years, not like just 49,000 over 5 years. Okay.
And you were just checking your stocks before we started this episode.
Yeah.
And all of your Canadian stocks are up.
Yeah,
and
the
US
Canadian
stocks are down.
Are doing a lot better. I said it in the last episode too that they were like, "Oh, the Venezuela invasion was hurting Canadian stocks," but I was looking at the last periods, and it was like,
why would that hurt Canadian stocks?
Because the need for Canadian oil goes down if the U.S. is stealing oil from other countries.
Well, Venezuelan oil is like low quality, apparently.
Yeah. Well, no, it's that. There was like an explanation for this that I need to try and remember. Basically, they describe crude as it can have two qualities. It's either sweet, sour.
Unleaded tastes a little tangy. Supreme is kind of sour, and diesel tastes pretty good.
Something like that. They're different ways of refining it. And the Venezuelan oil, they say it's easy enough to extract with a straw. That's the expression they use. But the refinement is why it's expensive. Because it's easy to extract in Venezuela. It's the refinement that's hard. And so Trump had that embarrassing meeting in the White House where he had all the oil execs around. Basically, they're balking at the opportunity because it's too expensive. They don't want to set up new refineries that are state of the art in a country that they do they control? That's the question, right?
Yeah, so, all of the rest of the regime is still in power. Just because Maduro's gone.
Yeah. So really in Canada, what we need are refineries, and I believe that there was a recent story. Maybe we could pull it up at some point, because I kind of missed it in the cycle. But David Eby was now floating the idea, the premier of British Columbia here, of some I want to say he said a citizen refinery or something, bring that here. And I've been saying that for a while, we should have the capacity to clean our own oil in this country. So, I guess I'm a supporter of that if we're going to be forced to do more oil while the planet warms up.
If we have to.
Yeah. We're living through a winter right now where we've had days as high as
0 snow.
10 degrees Celsius, double digits.
What is it? It's 7 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not winter, though I still expect there to be a bad freeze in February. We'll see.
This is the middle of January.
The climate is literally changing in my lifetime. And I just am how can anyone believe in a long-term promise in the future for anything, yay, 70,000 electric cars, but, we're not lowering global emissions still, right? Because if it's 70,000 more electric cars, it's not like they're building 70,000 less, gas cars if America is still insisting that the world, buy all of its shit. The global commitments are supposed to, equalize this thing out, but if it's capitalist incentives, then it's just more electric cars is still more cars, and I don't know, that still kind of gets me down at the end of the day.
I think a lot of problems are going to be solved once America is gone
and Israel.
And Israel too.
Yeah, America and Israel are literally the blight on the planet right now.
Those are top 2 on my show
list. The 2 horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah, here it is on CBC. BC Premier proposes publicly funded refinery over pipeline. See, that's exactly what I was saying. If we've got tens of billions of dollars to spend, I think we should spend it on a refinery, and we should develop oil products for Canadians and for export, instead of being reliant on American and Chinese refineries to do it for us, Eby said on a Tuesday at a press conference.
Yeah, this is what you've been saying, goes back to what you've been saying this whole time, where you think we should nationalize our oil industry.
Yeah, the problem is that Canada was set up as a resource colony, so the entire time is that our resources have been pillaged. And it's like, if you look at the Canadian economy and the GDP of what the most valued thing in this country is, it's real estate. It's not even the resources, because it's so spread out. The industry is such a mess of capitalist and corporate foreign interests that it hardly represents Canada, because we don't make very much money from our own shit. Yeah, it's sad.
It's a very tangled web we're stuck in.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave.
I don't understand why, if we're talking about massive public investment into supporting Albertans in this fragile global time, we can't talk about supporting all Canadians with oil and gas products that are made right here at home while we transition.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
BC Energy Minister Adrian D said such a project would generally be built near oil reserves, which would imply Alberta, although he acknowledged there have been proposals for a BC-based refinery.
So what? We could build a refinery on the border, There's towns out there. I'm sure Castlegar would be happy to have one industry.
Yeah, right?
Seriously. I don't know exactly where the tar sands is in Alberta, but there's a whole lot of land out there, guys. There's people out there looking for work too, and you can move people. People in this frickin' part of the country move all over just for logging. They will move.
Yep. They will move and shake for this.
Little consensus on refinery benefits. I'm speaking pedantically because I don't like this. Obviously, it's this guy Adam Pancratz.
Adam
Pancratz at a school of business. He says it makes no economic sense. Quote, refining in Canada is frequently suggested by politicians because it sounds good politically, but it is not economically justifiable.
It's not economically feasible.
Oh, I didn't know J.J. McCullough wrote this. We don't know what the market is going to be for all the various products that a refinery might produce. Oh, so we don't need a refinery because we don't know how much we can sell the future products for. Oh, this businessman. No wonder he's a lecturer. He probably never did shit in his life with a real business.
Wagging his
Adam
little finger.
Pancratz. How can you even talk about business if you're oh, there's no guarantee? Yeah, I know. Y'all want oil to be the same price it was in 2007 when it was $150 a barrel. I know the margins aren't there right now that oil is $62 a barrel. But guess what? If your greedy ass capitalist world keeps wanting oil, then it's going to be extracted at a faster rate regardless, and the market price is going to drop to reflect that if there is more supply in the market. But the demand never goes away. You're going to just use it until it runs out. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, there's always going to be a demand for the
Quote,
body.
gasoline needs to be sold within a few months, otherwise it goes stale. And so if you're refining it and don't sell it now, you have a worthless product.
But you're going to sell it now. You're always going to sell it.
Why does CBC get the dumbest people in the country to talk to them? God damn. Seriously.
If you don't sell one of the most valuable commodities on the planet, it's going to go stale.
If you build a factory and you have a product, you don't know what the product will sell for, and therefore it's a bad investment. But also, if you have the product and you don't sell it, because then there's no market for it, even though that's why you're building the factory. Shut up! Actually, what a waste of oxygen.
If you have a product that's in demand literally all over the world,
literally all over the world. See, again, we get an environmental response instead of just this idiot capitalist moron.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about business?
Quote, the idea that we should be putting any public money into fossil fuel infrastructure at this point is pretty ridiculous. Quote, we know that fossil fuels are driving climate-related weather disasters across the country, and that is true. Pretty much anything would be a better investment at this point than fossil fuels, to end out the quote. And it's correct, and I also cry at the thought of spending more of our tax money on fossil fuel companies. But A, that's why it should be a nationalized refinery, so that 100% of the profits and stuff benefit Canadians. We don't need to license that shit to Shell or anyone else. You could have a partnership with a Canadian brand. If Husky wants to slap their name on it, maybe, kind of, whatever, cool. But give me a break. The government's going to push forward with oil and gas stuff no matter what. As much as I would love a green majority, I ran and it didn't happen. So Carney is going to make the pipeline a reality if a company shows any interest. There's no company showing interest right now, and Alberta wants to live its oil, petrostate fantasy. So BC should set up a refinery on the border in towards the south of the border, the south of the southeast, I guess, area of BC, and build a public refinery. That's it.
I just want to note that I'm pretty sure Justin Trudeau's dad, Pierre Trudeau, actually did try to nationalize the oil industry. He's the one who created Petrocan.
Yes.
Which was a nationalized Canadian oil company when it started out. But over time, it gradually got sold off and became privatized.
Yeah.
Who came after Pierre Trudeau? Oh, Ben Mulroney, the
Yeah.
Conservative Party. I wonder if they had anything to do with that decision.
Conservatives always privatize in subsequent administrations. It sucks. They claw back everything that was fought so hard for. And then we have to waste space in articles like this with business morons who are like, the market might not buy your oil.
Yeah. Just going back and forth.
Shut up.
Cleaning up the mess. Making marginal progress and then having everything undone in 4 or 5 years. But, luckily, with our governmental system, you can have the same prime minister in power for a decade plus.
Yeah, so there can be some consistency.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at Trudeau Sr. He was in power for 15, 16 years?
Mm-hmm.
Quite a while. Oh, here we go.
And just as Canada achieved something of a note on the world stage with China, Pee-Pee Poo-Poo has to peek his little pissy brain face out.
He has to poo-poo out of his mouth.
Yeah, and say on Twitter, Mark Carney fails to get Chinese tariffs off Canadian farmers and fish harvesters. Oh no, this is an old tweet. This is October 31st, 2025. Pee-Pee Poo-Poo crying that Carney was not even elected or for a year or 6 months at that point. Crying. And did Pierre, was he even in office at this point in October 31st?
I don't know. Was this before the by-election?
Bad enough to come home empty-handed from his 8-day Asia junket, but it's worse. New Indian tariffs hit Canadian peas. The more he travels, the more tariffs we pay. Some master negotiator.
Yeah, well, what now, bitch?
Any updates on this, Pierre?
Yeah,
how many deals have you
bitch.
made?
Do you think this happens overnight? Tell us what you would do differently, please.
These
for
are
once,
all old
instead of hearing you
replies,
bitch
but
all the time.
he's
Yeah,
just-
but they're still
he
right.
doesn't
though.
have anything to pitch.
Yeah, dude,
Just
he's
bitch.
getting dunked on so fucking hard in the comments. It's funny.
Anyway, we just needed our weekly dose of Pierre Poilievre brutality.
Yeah, fuck you, Pierre. Yeah, in a direct rebuttal to that, Canada has the best performing stock market of 2025, which returned 36.5%. This is from World of Statistics at StatsFeed on Twitter.
Wicked. Yep.
Yeah.
Literally, Trudeau announced resignation in January of last year. Carney took the mantle before the month was even over, and the markets globally were just hell yes, Mark Carney, finally a person elected, or not at that time, but a person who would soon to be elected prime minister who actually kind of had the resume to deserve it. Not like Trump and not like Poilievre. Someone competent.
Yeah, by all accounts, things are looking up for Canada internationally.
At least macroeconomically, the people on the ground still could use
there-
universal basic income.
There are some domestic
stimulus.
things. There are some things on the ground domestically that need to be improved.
and free university.
Yeah. Come back home, Cardi. Fix things.
And
Finish your
where's the
globetrotting tour.
housing?
Yeah, the housing.
Where's
and
the global, the citizen civilian force?
yeah,
Where is
Citizen
it?
Defense Force?
Yeah, seriously.
Give me a gun,
I want
Carney.
my gun, Carney.
Give me some free government-funded shooting lessons.
Actually.
For real.
For real.
Actually. I don't want to have to pay out of pocket to be surrounded by a bunch of conservative gun nuts who would fucking kill me if they found out I was gay.
There was some Canadian news as Quebec Premier François Legault resigned. Shocking
Yes.
news.
Wow.
Out of Quebec.
This is the guy that ran
Yes.
federally
Yeah.
for prime
We've
minister.
seen him
Yeah.
debate.
I remember him in the debates, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that every single day I got up in the morning saying to myself, I want to do what is best for the people of Quebec.
This
I
is from
didn't always
CBC.
succeed, but I can guarantee you that I tried very hard with all my energy devoted to that task. I want to extend my sincere thanks to the people of Quebec for allowing me to have 2 mandates, and I am deeply touched.
He was elected
and
twice before, and so he's stepping down before a third election because his party's not doing so hot.
The Bloc Québécois.
But he's basically doing what Tim Walz just did. Tim Walz also got 2 full terms, and he's backing down before he gets the chance to really lose. So. Yeah,
because they got wiped by the Liberals in the last election, which I had never thought I would see in Quebec. Of all
the
places.
tide of politics in Quebec is weird and not worth the time of this podcast to analyze.
No.
We're Canada first, and they're little Quebec first. So
Ah.
Atlantic Canada united to flip off America again.
Yeah. From CTV News, January 9th. Frantic first days as Atlantic Canada sells off U.S. booze. Wine, bourbon dominate. So,
At many stores, we would have lineups of 50, 60, 80 people waiting for the doors to open. It was like a Black Friday mindset going on.
yeah. Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Labrador have sold roughly half their inventory since putting it back on shelves last month to sell off for charity. So they're getting rid of all of their excess American stock for a good cause, which, good for them.
Yep. I see there, as Christmas season began, provinces like Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland said they would put the bottles back up for sale and donate the proceeds to food bank organizations.
Awesome.
That's so cool. See, and this is they're crying so much about we can't nationalize anything. This is like liquor being purchased and then sold for no profit. It's just charity. So
non-profit liquor.
You guys can do good stuff if you just try.
Yeah.
The bourbon, vodka, and red wine from California have been top sellers. Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation said retail sales of its American liquor totaled about 7 million so far. Nearly half those sales were made in just the first week that the products were back on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So 7 million in just a few weeks is pretty good.
Yeah. There's one thing I've learned is that all of these pie in the sky things that people talk about, they are totally doable. It's just that politicians don't care about you and they don't want to do it.
Yeah, the will is not there because the people don't hold them to it, really. You know, their slogans are nice to get elected, but when it comes time to do the work, you actually have to be willing to hold their feet to the fire.
Sit on their ass, yeah.
We're not even really going to talk about it, but Mamdani just scored big in New York.
I was just thinking about Mamdani,
right?
actually.
We don't even have the story on our agenda for today, but Mamdani in New York just got his childcare
universal
policy,
childcare,
2 weeks after being elected, and people didn't think he would even be able to start it until the end of his term. So.
Yeah, see, and he got it just like that. It shows you can get shit done if you elect someone who cares about you, right?
Yeah, so don't believe the bullshit. Don't believe people that want you to be doom and gloom.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of doom and gloom.
Yeah.
From Politico, Canada's Carney outlines precondition to joining Trump's new Board of Peace. Ugh. The Prime Minister said the POTUS invite came a few weeks ago.
The President raised it with me a few weeks ago. That's my Carney impression.
Yeah. He told reporters in Doha, Qatar. Oh yeah, he went to Qatar as well.
Yep.
On Sunday, adding he has yet to absorb all its details, including how the Trump-led initiative will be structured and how financing would work. So apparently, he just got this invitation, and it just sounds to me like he's humoring Trump.
Yeah, and also let's be clear about the financing. It's a $1 billion membership fee. Trump has messaged everyone from Carney to Putin, asking for $1 billion to be a permanent member of this bullshit. This
is a scam. This is a con.
It's just another Trump university.
Yeah, this is
Trump stakes.
This is international diploma mill.
Trump bottled
a diploma
water.
Mill on an international scale. This is a scam.
It's the greatest water you'll ever have.
You're gonna pay $1 billion for nothing. You're not gonna get
to
anything
sit in a
out
room.
Of this.
Quote: Canada wants money to have maximum impact. We still do not have unimpeded aid flows, humanitarian aid flows at scale to the people in Gaza. That is a precondition for moving forward on this.
That's a good precondition.
I appreciate that Carney is calling out the complete failure in Gaza because, they can scream and cry about a ceasefire, but believe us, we are going to get to Israel in the world section because they have not obeyed the ceasefire. It's a ceasefire only when Palestine stops resisting because Israel continues to kill indiscriminately and block aid into the region. The genocide has not stopped. So, yeah. Board of Peace? Yeah, that's what Trump sounds like he is.
Whatever the fuck.
Hey, did you get that wordplay?
Mm-hmm. Board of Peace? Yeah, he's pretty bored of it.
And that's actually
he wants to stir things up a little bit.
Quote. Oh, this is a so for our listeners at home, this is what we call a flash forward, kind of, we're laying the groundwork for something we're going to get to because Trump did in fact say he was bored of peace, but we will get there.
A Canadian government official clarified to Politico that Canada will not pay for a seat on the board, and the U.S. has not asked for money.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Give me a fucking break. The U.S. has not asked for money.
They were granted anonymity to discuss ongoing discussions about the proposal. The proposed charter is still a document under discussion, and many terms and conditions are still being worked out. So this just sounds like a whim that Trump had.
Nothing's
Nothing's been
hey
discussed.
guys, putting feelers out. If y'all got $1 billion, hit me up. And
Sign up
you
for my
guys
board
can
of peace or
come to
something
my
or whatever.
join my Discord server
Yeah, for real.
for $1 billion.
Yeah. Carney signaled his intent to accept the invitation to join because it is important to have a seat at the table to shape this process from within. I mean, yeah, it's important to have your ear on the ground in matters like this, but I don't know. This just sounds
like if a guy
bullshit
looks at you and he's like, "I'm starting a great new business. I just need $1 billion from you." You can be like, I don't got it right now, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah.
That's what Carney's
Get
doing.
back
That's,
to me.
That's the Canadian approach. I don't got it right now, buddy. Good luck.
Yep.
Right? That's exactly what Carney is doing.
Yeah. Sounds like such bullshit.
Carney is the first sitting Canadian leader to visit Qatar, marking a shift in Canadian foreign policy to deepen trade and defense relations in the Gulf, prompted by the ongoing trade war with our idiots to the south. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't like Qatar either. Severe human rights violations, bad labor conditions,
I saw
just
the
like
World
the
Cup.
United States
Yeah, exactly.
in 2026.
That's why they gave them that $1 billion jet.
Yeah.
So, money is just a thing that exists because it keeps people in a state of constant fear that they are going to lose the things that they get. But in Qatar and these petro states, it really feels like they found the infinite money glitch in a way that the AI companies out here can only dream of.
Yeah, right.
And when that mouth breathing moron in that CBC article is like, what if the oil you produce is you can't sell it? It's like they don't seem to have a problem with selling oil in the Gulf.
Yeah. What if someone doesn't want to buy it?
What if the oil doesn't sell?
What if solar really takes off tomorrow and everyone installs a solar panel? I mean, that would be great. It's not gonna happen. No way.
Is that still gonna help the people in even the Canadian North? Because
No.
they get a lot of sun, but do solar panels help if they're covered in snow? Right? There's ways we can do this, guys, and it's just being so no way. The economic conditions are so okay. We make our own economic headwinds then. We don't wait. It's so pathetic. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing as Canada not even doing dumping daylight savings because they were like, oh, wait for America. We'll wait and see our business.
Wait for America.
Wait for our business.
Fuck America.
Our business partners to come to the table and come to an agreement. No, lead the way. Fuck. Okay, if a dumb American misses the meeting because they don't care enough to look at what the time is in Canada, not our fault.
Yeah, get with the times.
Literally,
you fucking rotting empire.
Scroll down.
Country.
There's more. Oh yes, this article is mentioning as well Trump's threat on Europe, which we will talk about shortly. But it does have the full list here because it's related to Europe. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, and Finland will all receive a 10% tariff levy on February 1st on any and all goods sent to the U.S., Trump said in a Truth Social post, and the rate will increase to 25% on June 1st if Greenland is not American by then.
Dude, they're just going to stop trading with you. That's how this is going to end.
It needs to start.
People are just going to stop trading with the U.S.
Then it needs to start. I've said over and over again, America is like a screaming child, and they're going to hold their breath until they get what they want. So we just need to watch them turn blue for a bit. We don't need to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
Let them knock themselves out because it will happen. Yeah. But we need to be strong enough not to put ourselves in harm's way and get involved. We were watching... not even Yellowstone, but shows in that universe before. And it's like that, when people panic, struggling people take other people down. And that's what's going to happen with America. Because if the American bank system goes down, I saw another post where it was if the world realizes that America is not a good partner to do business with anymore, they're going to stop lending them money. And if America is not, in good enough credit standing to borrow money anymore and it defaults, what the fuck is going to happen?
Yeah.
They're going to be so desperate.
If things keep going the way they are, this really is going to be the Chinese century.
We're going to get to some stories coming up, but please stay tuned. There's some premonitions going on right now, some early warning signs as we come into the later part of January 2026 that this is going to be a rough economic year.
Because America didn't really emerge as a superpower in the 20th
until
century,
after World War II.
Until the 1950s.
After World War II.
And
when they set up industry in the wake of and to fund a military campaign.
Yeah, so not even until halfway through the 20th century do they really emerge. So I think China still got some time to grow into that. And we got a war as well.
I mean, it might be a big prediction, but I think at this point, 2040 or 2050 is our China's. Like, that seems to be the way things are going.
Yeah.
Or they're Israel's. America will sacrifice itself so that Israel can be the top nation in the world.
Either way, America's out of the picture by the end of the century, I think.
The only thing Israel really has going for it by comparison to China is a much higher birth rate.
Greenland.
So,
the future. Of Greenland
I guess
is a decision
transitioning into the America and rest of the world section here.
This is our transition clip, anyway.
Yeah, going into talking about the Greenland stuff.
The timeline, everything's moving so fast right now. This is from 4 days ago, and it's already escalated even more.
Yeah.
This is also a quote tweet from everyone's favorite, Frog King, John Cleese.
Yes, Mr. Sillywalk himself.
Who said, "Good news. In a chilling escalation, Canadian PM Mark Carney warned America by saying, quote, our full partnership and obligations to Article 5 stand. We stand fully behind them. Canada will back Denmark on Greenland. This comes in response to the U.S. plans on annexing it." Yeah, Trump's really escalating this lately.
The future of Greenland is a decision for Greenland and for the Kingdom of Denmark. We are NATO partners with Denmark, and so our full partnership stands. Our obligations on Article 5, Article 2 of NATO stand, and we stand full square behind those.
Yeah, it's such a simple statement, but boy, the fact that it can make headlines is just speaks to how pathetic the global, the agreements to peace are. It's ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't need to do this. As a NATO ally, we are a partnership, but America's run by a moron whose brain is melting out of his ears, dementia rotted, and we have to stand up. So we need to strengthen our southern border. I don't know why we're not being stronger about this. It's really bumming me out. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Yes. We just got back from the movie theater, and while we were there, Mark Carney paid a little visit.
We were spurred on by just how much of it you saw in your feed. So we just basically watched or read the whole thing.
Yes, this is Mark Carney's speech at the World Economic Forum, which just happened today.
Yes. And I know I was I'm kind of low-key eating my words because I said oh man, I wish that the dialogue was stronger. And there's a lot to praise in this speech, but at the end of the day, it is still a lot of words. We need more action.
Yes.
But this is finally
someone's acknowledging the elephant in the room.
Yep. Someone is finally saying it the way it needs to be said for the world to hear. And I really hope that this speech is going to get reported on by basically every country in the world. I think this is historical. So I don't know if we got clips or
this is a historical
highlights.
Textbook speech. I think this is the most brutal part of the whole speech.
Absolutely. Right, please, everyone, tune in.
We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false. That the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
That last line is absolutely brutal.
God damn.
Oh my God.
I assume that some sort of editing magic will happen, and this clip will be edited towards, the or will be put earlier into the show.
Yeah.
And it will look perfectly normal, even though the time of day has changed completely.
Yeah, and it's
my hair
nighttime
is
now.
way more frazzled.
Yeah, and I've
now.
got all my jewelry on because I was at the movies.
Yeah, but like we needed to talk about this because, like you said to me while we were eating food and checking it out, that this is going to be the thing that is in the history books, and you refer to it as what title?
The sign in the window speech.
Yeah, this is the sign in the window speech, signed, sealed, and delivered by Mark Carney at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, today.
Yeah, calling it right now,
January 20th.
You're gonna see this exact screenshot in a textbook.
Yeah,
like 30 years from now. This,
I don't want to do some like conspiracy crap, but I almost feel like the number of 4s on the screen here is a little disturbing.
What? Where?
It's 4:44 p.m. and it's 10:44, and like the A's look like 4s. I don't know. It's like just a lot of numbers in the clip. I don't know. A conspiracy person might read into that some sort of lunacy, but like time zones are a thing. But it is weird that there's so many 4s on screen right now. 4:44, 10:44.
What does it mean?
I don't know. Mark IV, Carney.
Whoa! The World Economic Forum.
Whoa! What does it mean?
But yeah, seriously,
it means the U.S. age of hegemony is over.
The period of mourning is now over.
Thank God.
Everyone, let's line up to piss on the grave.
But
you all have to help us hold them down first.
Yeah, I never thought like I would see a politician just come out and admit that the geopolitics of the late 20th century were just bullshit. It was all just a facade. It all just depended on America being nice. That was like the linchpin that held everything together, and now it's gone.
Yeah, so Canada has big shoes to fill, and he, like I was saying to you, Carney sees it. He
he knows what the fuck's going on.
He didn't realize that he was training over the last 20 years of his like career as an international banker for Canada and the UK, and he dealt with so many governments and people, and now he finds himself in the year of our Lord 2026, the only competent adult in the room. Everyone is just like too scared to actively do anything or even say anything against Trump and his administration on a global level. Like the statements we've pointed out in other weeks have been so weak. They don't name anything. They don't name names. They will hesitate to say America or whatever. And like, yes, one thing I commented on while we were reading the transcript for the whole speech was that even though it is saying what needs to be said in regards to the global stage and America's place in it and what they are abdicating in this time, but that the speech is still generally very pro-capitalism. If you really like get into the text, like it's still, he's talking about like the transactions,
within the framework of capitalism. He is like a banker. And that's his inner banker coming out, his inner social democrat coming out.
I have a feeling like he hates Trump on a personal level because of things where it's like, we all know that Trump doesn't pay his contractors.
No.
Right? No. So like Mark Carney is the books guy. Do you think that he knows that?
He's a nerd. That's like his nerd obsession.
Hates Trump on a very visceral, personal level. This is the professional, like Harvard educated.
You don't fudge the numbers with a math nerd.
Like I don't know where he went to school, but look, this is the elite educated numbers guy who has helped 2 different countries navigate extremely difficult financial times. One of those times caused in 2008 by the United States' own lust for capital and sloppy regulation of their banking industry. So like, bravo, full applause. I would give him a standing O. I would be the last one in the room clapping. And if I was there for this.
Elsewhere in the speech, he actually mentions that these crises in finance and health all started roughly 20 or so years ago, around the time of the 2008 financial crisis.
Whoa, fancy that. Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
He has been here. And it's like, I was also saying to you, I'm repeating myself now because I'm reliving our conversation from when we were discovering the full dialogue of this. But like, there's so many people alive today who have no memory, like no brain at all, who like, these really dumb people, they get the same right to vote as you and me, but they don't know what happened in the memory of
goldfish.
They were born in 2011, guys. Or whatever. I mean, they can't vote if they were born in 2011, but you know what I mean? Like, there's people that are like, okay, let's say like all the people born after 9/11.
Or like people born in 2008.
Yeah, right, I mean, like, those are people that were getting hired in Doge. And like, these are people that literally don't understand how bad the world has been in just the lifetime of the people still in charge. And so Carney is like, he's the guy that's been left holding the bag quite literally after Trudeau, like, walked the plank last year. So he just happened to be the guy. It's like when your second in command has been there for multiple administrations. It's kind of like Fauci was at the CDC since the 80s. Like, he'd been there since Reagan. He was the one that helped with the AIDS crisis a lot. And then he got called upon like 25 years later again to be like the guy to save the day. So Carney has just been like in the shadows, watching these fools drop the ball so many times. And now he sees these shoes are just waiting to be filled. And I really think he's going to try for it. But as a, progressive activist again, and someone who ran for the Greens and wants to hold politicians to account, still need to insist that civilian defense force can't wait any longer.
Yeah.
I want my gun, Carney.
Yeah, I can't stress enough how critical of a time this is for Canada and how dangerous more than ever the United States is to us.
Yes,
we are on the threshold of becoming what America could be. We could become one of the greatest superpowers on the planet.
We could become
economically, at least.
We could become honestly, we should integrate fully into the EU. And
yes,
we should be like a Switzerland type, but with the might of the US.
1,000,000%.
We should be peacekeeping.
Yes,
the actual, not police.
Yeah, our destiny is upon us, Canada.
This is it, man.
We have to.
It's going to be brutal.
Man.
We've been bitching and moaning about the pipelines and everything, and it sucks that this is the part of the process. And I already vented about how capitalism means that everything just increases as opposed to actually replacing stuff. Mm-hmm. But except for energy, which we went over the other week, energy hasn't gone up at all, production. But
no.
So we need more of that. But it's going to be painful, and if it's going to start this year. Keep watching this episode, guys, because we just recorded the other parts earlier, and I talked about financially this year is going to hurt, and I think I think Carney knows it. Maybe that's why he hasn't gone out with a UBI thing quite yet, is because he knows it's going to get worse. And so this is the time where people are kind of okay, it's okay for now. But once the monetary system that holds up the American side of our trade relationship economy completely evaporates,
which it will.
It is going to, as the U.S. is cut off at every turn from the global markets if they keep up this mafia behavior. I really hope that this pipeline and all this harvesting of our resources is going to amount to some sort of Canadian energy dividend. We deserve it, and it's going to be essential when the AI that does survive the bubble ends up replacing a lot of jobs. I argued with some idiot on Twitter a few days ago on my personal account where they're raising the minimum wage always raises prices.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm just adding kiosks to every store reduced prices, right? Because they are paying less people. Oh, wait, no, that didn't happen? So, no, you can't trust corporations. We need the government to step in. They need to be taxed properly and appropriately, and the money needs to be redistributed. That's required for the economy to function. And that's why there's no economy right now. You can't have an economy that's built off the value of a house or the land underneath it. The land for what? Give me a break. Yeah. So
anyway,
Mark's the man for the job, but we need action now.
Yeah. We just wanted to talk about this briefly, but
it's inspiring. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I want to see change.
Makes me proud to be a Canadian.
Yes.
Just like the Canadian movie that we just finished watching.
Yeah, we did just see a Canadian movie.
Tune in later in the episode when we talk about the movies we watched.
Yes, this would be a good transition point if this was in order. On to the rest of the planet.
Yay.
Pressure grows on the EU to deploy trade bazooka against Trump's Greenland tariff threat. Yes, I have heard of this trade bazooka.
Please do something to stop this madman.
Calls are growing louder for the European Union to deploy its trade bazooka, as Trump said he would impose fresh tariffs upon Denmark and its European allies until it agrees to sell Greenland from Denmark. Yeah, so we listed those countries earlier. The anti-coercion instrument adopted in 2023 to combat political blackmail through trade would allow the EU to restrict third countries from participating in public procurement tenders, limit trade licenses, and shut off access to the single market. The tool has never been used. While it would severely impact U.S. services and products, it could also come with geopolitical ramifications. Oh God, the U.S. isn't doing that already for every single thing? God, everyone's such a baby.
Bad stuff could happen. Bad stuff's already happening.
European switch tone after failed appeasement strategy. Yeah, no duh.
The latest spat calls into question the European strategy of appeasement when it comes to Trump, which has guided the EU Commission and the 27 member states until... Yeah, it didn't work with Hitler.
Yeah, last
Appeasing
summer,
Hitler didn't work. You know?
the EU and US signed a deal which tripled duties on European products to 15% already, while lowering tariffs to 0 on US industrial goods. See, you guys already bent over. Are you learning your lesson yet? Freaking hell. At the time, Brussels indicated that the deal, which put in place major concessions in favor of Washington, was the price to pay for U.S. engagement in Ukraine and global stability. Yeah, that's the lie they sell you. But it's a shakedown racket. That's all it is.
America is an empire founded on con men and movers and shakers. They'll fucking flip you upside down and shake you for every penny that you're worth.
Francis Macron said the EU would not be intimidated by threats. Sweden's Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson, a close ally of Denmark, said that they will not allow the bloc to be blackmailed in one of the most severe statements to date. That's the most severe statement. Stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. We can do a little bit better than this.
Come on, Europe.
No, but
the late 20th century made you soft.
Yeah, they're like, we will stand up to American aggression, but we will still let Israel trample all over us.
Yeah. Okay, so more Greenland shit. This is from Twitter, Brian Allen. Norway's Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Støre, has acknowledged Trump's letter is real. The letter reportedly... This is a letter that Trump sent out to all the leaders of the world, apparently. The letter reportedly ties Norway's Nobel Peace Prize decision to Greenland, questions Denmark's right of ownership, and declares the world isn't secure unless the U.S. has complete and total control of Greenland. So this is Donald J. Trump's letter to the leaders of the world.
Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China, and why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago, but we had boats landing there also. I've done more for NATO than any other person since its founding, and now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump.
I'm surprised it doesn't say, thank you for your attention to this matter.
Yeah, right.
I think the Dear Jonas is
to whom it may concern.
Informal for a world leader.
Yeah.
Also, Denmark and Norway are different countries. Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Prize, Norway gives out the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Denmark.
I mean, they're all Slavic countries in his mind, I guess.
And they're Nordic. So that was
exactly.
But and I just said earlier, remember Trump's Board of Peace? Yeah, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace. That needs to be the quote on his tombstone. That's the epitaph. I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace. I have done more for NATO. It's time for them to do something for me. A little quid pro quo.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
I remember screaming and fighting about quid pro quo stuff in the first term, and people were like, no, that's not what it is. And now he's literally just like, it's time you started pulling your weight around here.
Quid pro quo.
Yes, squid pro row.
But actions and words have consequences. Dow Jones today, this is literally from today, slid 870 points. S&P 500 drops 2% for the worst day since October as tariff threats and Greenland occupy the national attention. So yeah, this is a pretty big one because there's a lot of talk now about these, foreign nations selling off their U.S. assets because the U.S. is no longer a reliable trade partner.
Do it. Dump everything.
Yeah, dump everything. We don't deserve...
Dump all your bonds, dump everything.
We should not be, lifting them up anymore. This is it. It has to end.
Yeah. The Treasury yield spiked and the U.S. dollar declined as Trump's threat caused a flight from U.S. assets. Danish pension operator... Oh, God. Akademiker Pension said
Akinator?
said Tuesday that it is existing U.S. treasuries because of finance.
No, that it is
exiting U.S. treasuries because of finance concerns over U.S. debt.
Yeah, we should be concerned because our debt is over 100% of gross GDP. So, like, pay it off, guys. Yeah. We're not lending you money anymore.
Their currency has just been made of thin air since like the 1970s.
Yeah, and it's about to come crashing down.
It's a fiat currency because it's not tied to gold anymore.
No. Yep. We were just talking about it. What's going to happen when America realizes that the world won't let them borrow money anymore? America has been running on credit for like 100 years.
Yeah. It's gotten so comfortable in its little cushy position that it talks so much shit without realizing that it's on like life support. It's been on life support for like at least 40, 50 years.
And it hasn't gotten the bill yet.
Yeah.
That's why it's so cocky.
The expensive medical bill. Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming. And I really hope it comes this year.
Oh boy, is it coming.
Yeah, Trump then threatened to impose 200% tariffs on French wines and champagne amid reports that Emmanuel Macron is unwilling to join the so-called Board of Peace. Oh, we have that clip, actually. I have that clip. Yeah, it's coming up. Trump also hit out at the UK, labeling British government's plan to hand over sovereignty of the Chagos Islands, one of which is the site of a UK-US joint military base, to Mauritius, as a, quote, act of great stupidity, and said that the move was, quote, another in a very long line of national security reasons why Greenland has to be acquired. So, and I heard them also floating monetary amounts to just buy Greenland, saying like 700 billion, but that's about how much got wiped from the stock market today, just because of this stupid crap. So, like, they lost one Greenland worth of value in a day. Do they want to keep doing it? Are they really prepared for this? Are the American people prepared to hand over $700 million of taxpayer money?
I hope they have the balls to fucking use it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I want people in every like capital across the EU to be marching. Every major city should be marching and demanding that they put the trade bazooka on America. Like, seriously, everyone should be in the streets saying, pull athletes from FIFA, pull the World Cup, and trade bazooka America. They need to be bitch slapped and put in their place. That's it. Yeah. Time's up. I'm so tired of this. And here is the aforementioned clip of Trump being asked directly about Macron and then saying, we're going to put 200% tariffs on wine.
Have you invited President Putin to be a member of the Board of Peace?
Putin first.
He's been invited. Do you have any response to President Macron saying he will not join the Board of Peace? Oh, did he say that? Well, nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So, that's all right. What I'll do is if they feel like Costo, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few months.
Wow, you can really tell he's like hearing it for the first time there, and he just like freaks out.
200% tariff.
Let me do a public threat on camera.
Yeah.
To another global head of state. And you know what? I don't think we have this story pulled up as well, but this morning, Trump posted screenshots of texts that Macron sent to him like, hey, I don't understand what the problem is. We have a commitment and we are allies. And why do you want Greenland? And Trump's like, look at this bullshit. And he posted it like a teenage girl online. Get the trade fucking bazooka, aim it for a stupid face, and fire. Open fire at the president. Clip that. This was kind of a kind of Canada thing, but it also is very much a Greenland thing. So it's in the international section because this is for international security, right?
Yes.
So, it was a little shorts video from CBC, but this disturbing picture was shared by Trump on his social media of a map of North America with the U.S. flag atop Canada and Greenland.
From Trump's social media feed posted early this morning. It's along his theme of U.S. dominance in the Western Hemisphere. It is also fake. It's an image remade from a photo of Trump with European leaders and Ukraine's Zelensky in the Oval Office. And as you can see on the wall behind him, both Canada and Greenland covered with the stars and stripes.
Well, the image
Trump
is fake, but he shared it.
Images generated
she was just talking
by
about
the White House or created by his MAGA base. And
he shares like AI generated shit all the time.
Here's another from his overnight feed, clearly an AI-generated image. It's Trump planting the flag on Greenland, sending a double message about his intentions and a gesture to his critics. You can see Greenland, U.S. territory, established 2026. Clearly a fake.
Obviously fake. Yeah. Until it's not anymore, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're prepping the pump, and y'all are doing nothing about it. But, in the face of fascism, humor sometimes can cut to it. And we have a British funny man /
Well, you know what also could cut through it is machine gun fire.
That's true. Or more just straight up machetes. They're really effective. I've seen footage of like jungles. Just replace jungles with like, Wall Street. And it's basically the same.
Mm-hmm. It is a jungle.
Streamers of red. Piers Morgan said this on X, the Everything app, on January 17th, 3 days ago. Britain should repurchase America. After all, it was ours once, and it would enhance our North Atlantic security. If you don't sell it to us, President Trump, we're going to impose tariffs on the U.S. and any country who supports you in resisting this very good deal. Fair? Yes, absolutely fair. And the replies are just full of like, right-wing blue checkmark paying chuds who are like, Britain's not so great.
Foreign policy.
Yeah, but we can take Britain.
America all over the place.
And then Italy should repurchase Britain because it was part of the Roman Empire. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Oh, man. It's fucking so many dumbasses in the replies. I'm not even going to...
No, it's not worth it. But the fact that Piers has used his platform to dunk on America like that is good because it's going to get people talking.
Yeah.
9.1 million views on this Piers post. 9 million.
122 likes, 122K likes, 48K replies. So not ratioed.
Oh, those ratios. They're trying so hard. You can tell the desperation. 48K replies. Ugh.
Yeah, they're trying so hard.
So sad, but no one likes them very much.
Yeah. All right, now we're getting into the Minnesota stuff, which is a couple weeks old now. But yeah, Miss Renee Good, mother of two, shot twice in the head by ICE agents for non-compliance. This is not Renee Good.
No.
I don't know who the fuck this is, but there is a picture of Renee Good in the the lesbian.
No, that's
liberal.
a different picture too.
That's not Renee. Well, that's not Renee Good.
I don't know. I've seen a different picture of her.
Here we go. Here's an article.
This is
CNN.
The full meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Mother of three who loved to sing and write poetry, shot and killed by ICE in Minneapolis. Heartless, cold-blooded killing on the street. And the right has done nothing but lie and disingenuously frame the situation despite multiple camera angles showing that the officer was very much in the wrong.
Yep, multiple videos of it. I know we've all seen it by now. We've all seen the different angles. I remember seeing the administration lie about it in real time the day of.
Domestic terrorists.
Yeah, Kirsten Noem immediately went out and did that press conference where she talked about how, the woman was a domestic terrorist and was trying to ram the ICE officer. All lies. Completely false.
Yeah. And even Trump, who hadn't seen the video, was shown the video, and then he was like, that doesn't look good. And then they were like, her parents are your supporters. What do you have to say? And he's like, oh, that's a shame. So it's weird that like Noem came out so aggressively, like before there was any information on what actually happened, to say like it was domestic terrorism. Okay. It wasn't though. And that's not what that word means. And your agents are poorly trained and Nazis also.
Yeah.
God, there's been a lot of stories about ICE incompetence in the wake of this.
Yeah. So things have really ramped up in Minnesota and Minneapolis especially. A lot of protests going on, of course. And apparently protesters are starting to arm themselves as well. Which
I've seen like a Black Panther resurgence.
Yeah, Black Panthers are resurging a little bit, which, people are trying to screech about it on social media and especially on X. But, as far as I'm concerned, they're just practicing their Second Amendment rights.
Exactly, in that space.
Yeah.
One thing to say about the protests is that the right and the president especially has used the government to try and further narratives that these are paid protesters and stuff like that. But if there's anything we've seen from interviews on the ground, it's that these are just regular people that are really, really tired of this. And we have a good clip here.
I also want to say in relation to that, he's half right because there have been a few paid agitators that have been caught, like that guy that tried to burn the American flag and the guy that tried to Yeah, a couple protesters have been like caught as being like paid agitators or like intentionally planted
Instigators.
there. Yeah, instigators. Yeah. But this seems like a regular chap.
With no cause and murdering people for trying to flee and for obeying a command to leave the area and then shooting her in the face like that after she drops her kid off at school. We have to show up with guns. We have to.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it. I don't care if I don't have a Minnesota carry permit. I'm unarmed right now, but this is the last time I show up to face these guys without a weapon. There's no way. I got shot with a pepper ball 5 minutes after walking in here. I never laid a finger on them. I never raised a hand to them. I've only been using my voice. The time for speaking is over. The time for niceties is over. The time for peace is over. They fired the first shot. It is time to end this shit by any means necessary.
You're talking about, potentially going to a dark place in this country. Do you foresee
it's already in a dark place?
This is the dark place. This is the dark time. We have people being sent to Salvadorian concentration camps. We got other countries being raided for their oil. We're in the dark time. There's no way out of this. There's no voting our way out of this.
One way out of it.
We can't wait till November. There's no waiting to the ballot box. We need to get to the bullet box. That's the only way. If there was another way, I'd be advocating for it. I've spoken peacefully. I've marched peacefully. I marched without Sharpton. I marched on Washington. I've been peaceful. I've acted peacefully. The time for peace is over. The time for any means necessary is right now.
He keeps wanting to say the time for blood.
That's a powerful message that you're delivering.
I keep hearing him holding himself back from saying
needs to say. He wants to say like the time for violence and stuff. But
time for blood.
It's true.
Yep, it is super true. So get on in America. What's going on? 10
Mark
days?
Carney, where's the Civilian Defense Force? Sign me up.
Yeah, come on. I'm just so tired. And like I was even looking at the Canadian Armed Forces websites the other day, and it's like still the only training base is in like fucking Quebec. The only one. It's so pathetic.
Yeah, that's one thing Mark Carney needs to do immediately when he comes home is like beef up our security big time.
Big time. Oh yeah, there was a CSI PSYOP rebellion in Iran that lasted like a few days and got a bunch of people.
They got
killed.
really close to toppling the regime.
Yeah, I've seen people try and like pull out the pre-revolution flag and be like
the imperial over, flag.
Yeah. No.
It seems like the rebellion was crushed. They got pretty close.
It got closer, but I guess America really didn't get involved, did they? Mm-hmm. I think I saw some posts somewhere about like the reason America didn't get involved in Iran had to do with Israel telling them not to or something like that. Like very tactful, but like with all the terrible atrocities America's been committing, honestly, it's kind of like Iran's people rebelling. It's great, but
yeah, it's really hard to tell what was going down because like it says here, they blacked out the internet.
Exactly.
And so it was really hard to tell whose side.
And like while the American and mainstream media is trying to get everyone in the West riled up and like crazed about Iran, it's like America is literally shooting people in the face.
Yeah. They don't have time for this shit.
So it's like there's I swear to God, I saw news clips during the height of the Iran stuff where people were on TV like, so what do you think about Iran, like the safety of protesters? And they're like, have you seen America? Like literally, it's like they're being asked directly. Yeah. It's like, look around. God.
So this is from Academic Agent on Twitter. It says, in Iran, they blacked out the internet, left Starlink on, pinpointed who was using it, arrested them, then blocked Starlink.
Masterful gambit.
Thanks, Elon.
Yeah. Good job, Elon. You really are a freedom guy.
That certainly helped the cause, I'm sure.
It caused some people to be arrested and killed.
All right, little update on Venezuela. The thing that started off the year with a big bang, From CNN, why the Trump administration is holding millions of dollars from Venezuelan oil sales in a Qatari bank.
Yep, so the tanker that was illegally seized was sold, or at least the first sale has gone through. $500 million as confirmed by the Trump admin.
Wow.
And it's been put in an off-seas account in Qatar, not in America. Keep Qatar great, again, with American money.
Mm-hmm.
Venezuelan banks have started advertising cash, suggesting the oil proceeds have arrived in the country. Two sources with knowledge of Venezuela's financial crisis say, because the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, said that the money is going right to Venezuela, allegedly from Qatar, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think the people are seeing it quite yet.
Not yet. Placing the money into an account in Qatar, potentially out of the reach of Western business and creditors who have claims for the money that they're owed, is a way to achieve the Trump admin's goals of asserting more power over Venezuela, separate from the institutions that it is, like, you know, actually in debt to. America's like, let us step in. America's like literally those, like, the embodiment of those, like, predatory late night commercials that are like, do you want to get out of debt?
Bad credit, no problem.
And it's like, psych. It's not so easy, is it? So Qatar is basically an intermediary. Other experts told CNN the Qatari bank served a similar intermediary role previously with Iran during oil sales previously when sanctions were loosened. So that appears to be it. It's like they're being the middleman, banker, mediator country, I guess. Is that the reason?
Probably.
Unless, you know, the Trump admin is lying about how much money they actually made. You know, they made $1 billion from the oil sale, but they're only going to give Venezuela 500.
I mean, America's the middleman of the world. So
exactly.
That's their whole MO.
Yeah. Anyway, Venezuela, as you guys might know, their not leader, Maria Corina Barina Casina Patina Pacala Cachino Cachado, won the Nobel Prize for doing nothing. And since she's a spineless worm, she gave the Nobel Prize to Trump a few days ago in a fancy little display case. And so we have this little clip here of Trump failing to remember her name when asked about her. And that's why I'm just going to disrespect her, because she really is just like a human piece of garbage. And there's a quote from like a Mexican revolutionary, Zapata, who talks about, like, you know, let people be worms if they want, but you don't need to care if they're stepped on, if they cry out. So yeah, so let's just hear Trump do his best to talk around not remembering this woman's name, who just groveled at his feet earlier in this same day.
Okay, first you said the meeting went well. Why align with Delcy Rodriguez and the remnants of the Maduro regime and not with Machado, who has the support of the Venezuelan people?
Well, if you ever remember a place called Iraq where everybody was fired, every single person, the police, the generals, everybody was fired, and they ended up being ISIS. Instead of just getting down to business, they ended up being ISIS. So I remember that. But I'll tell you, I had a great meeting yesterday by a person who I have a lot of respect for, and she has respect, obviously, for me and our country. And she gave me her Nobel Prize. But I'll tell you what, I got to know her. I never met her before, and I was very, very impressed. She's this is a fine woman.
Where are you?
This woman that I met.
This woman that I definitely have said her name out loud at least once. Yeah, so that was funny. Also, what the hell was he talking about? It was ISIS. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, but well, I mean, in a roundabout, he had a very Carl Pilkington way of saying it.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, the regime change caused by the U.S. in Iraq did eventually lead to ISIS. I mean, that is...
Yeah,
true.
that's such a silly example, because he just went into Venezuela, so I don't know what he's talking about. Like, it doesn't reflect well upon his own actions.
Yeah, well, he's saying that the regime change in Iraq was like complete and total, like the entire regime was collapsed. Everyone was killed, fired, whatever. We're in Venezuela,
but he still didn't even really give an answer, because like he was asked why he didn't support Maria Corina Paquina Castina.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it didn't answer the question at all.
No,
I'm just saying that he's a very dumb Neanderthal way of summarizing the foreign policy of America in Iraq in the year 2003.
Dumb Neanderthal way.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you got it better than me.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys. So just a reminder,
I'm going to let you take this
all
one.
of this political theater that Trump is doing right now is just a distraction from the Epstein files, which have still not been fully released.
1 month past due, 30 days.
Due.
It's illegal to not release them or to redact without explaining the redactions.
Yes.
And he has broken the law repeatedly.
Yes. So there's a big breaking story in the Epstein scandal that just broke like a few days ago, maybe a week ago. Now, it's bubbling and brewing on social media just under the surface. It hasn't broken into mainstream media yet, so we'll talk about it here. I believe the first male victim of the Epstein sex trafficking ring, has spoken out. A military vet named Sasha Riley has spoken out about his abuse at the hands of the Epstein. He calls it the Epstein and Trump pedophilia ring. And he makes some pretty wild, outrageous claims that a couple of years ago I probably would not have believed and dismissed it as some QAnon shit. But now I kind of do believe it. And he's been telling the same story over and over again over the years on social media, and nobody's really believed him until now. Now he's starting to become fully public with it. And this is a website that...
well, this is a Substack.
Yes. Article interview featuring some audio interviews that he conducted with an independent journalist from Victoria, Canada. So this is Sasha Riley here as a child, 13-year-old.
Really, a Canadian journalist.
Yes, and this is him as a military vet. And I'm just going to read out what it says here so you can really see the depths that this goes to. So this is talking about Sasha Riley's past as a child being trafficked. During the years Sasha Riley was trafficked within the Trump-Epstein ring, he was forced to perform sexual acts during the filming of several child pornography films, including a snuff film. He recalls at least 10 to 12 such films. During the snuff film shoot, SR saw a girl child shot and killed during filming. After another film shoot, a girl child was taken to another room. Sasha recalls hearing gunshots. He said that's when he heard the gunshots, he was scared. Another perpetrator still in the room with him, sensing his fear, said, "Don't worry, boys are hard to find," which is the title of the article here.
Boys are hard to find. Wow.
Yeah.
Just the full background there. Sasha Riley, a decorated Iraq War veteran. So that's just where they served.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see how much of this it covers. So this is the summary of the article here, which I'll just read out for you. This is by who wrote this article? Lisa Noel Volding, who, if you look up her name, she has a bit of a shady past as a journalist. Like, she's a bit like Christian leaning. So, like the article opens up with a quote from Luke 12 verses 2 and 3. But given the context of everything we know now about the Epstein files, I do kind of lend credence to this, and he has the receipts to back it up. But here's the summary. I met Sasha Riley, a decorated Iraq war veteran. During the course of my work, I realized he needed help, and I offered to help. His testimony is a window into the systematic torture, rape, and murder of impoverished children under the ages of 13 for profit and sport within the Trump, Epstein, and associated criminal enterprise. Sasha was adopted during 1977 for the purposes of trafficking by William Kyle Riley. Sasha was trafficked by WKR within the Trump/Epstein ring from about 9 to 13 years old. WKR worked as a pilot and trafficker for Trump and conspirators within the Trump, Epstein, and associated criminal enterprises. WKR hunted victims, trafficked victims, transported clients and victims on airplanes and helicopters, and silenced victims, including by murder. And WKR and his father, Paul, worked within the Dixie Mafia. Whoa. Sasha is one of the only trafficking survivors from during those years. Pedophile perpetrators Sasha is willing to testify against include Donald J. Trump, Andy Biggs, Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, and Clarence Thomas.
Whoa.
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, what a list.
Please see audio recordings A through F in Part 2 section for a bullet case background. The evidence is ample. Pornography films, videos, CPS reports, FBI reports on WKR, and a military report involving the court-martial of a fellow soldier found with child pornography depicting Sasha and one of the murder victims, Samantha, a decade earlier. So one of his fellow soldiers in the army was caught with CP on his laptop, and it turned out to be CP of Sasha, which is what kind of blew this whole thing open. So, yeah, pretty big story, pretty big, bold claims, and we're not going to really know the full story unless the Epstein files are released. Although I will say, none of them are threatening to sue Sasha for libel.
I do agree. I think that the fact that the Epstein law passed and that Trump signed it, I think that there is some big stuff.
Big shit.
Like this should never have ever been known to the public, and now that the public does know about it. Like, how many of the 438 people in the House of Representatives know, are that really close to this sort of thing? Mm-hmm. So they're more than happy to do it for the people. But I hate to say those words, but like the deep state and these like elitist demonic folks that are like, you know, governing the world and keeping you poor. They love doing criminal acts against, like, you know, children and God and crap like that. You know, they're godless heathens, as some people would say.
Yeah. So there is evidence. There's Child Protective Services reports. There's FBI reports that related to Sasha's family. Apparently, there was one report, one incident filed by CPS where apparently the child Sasha had heroin in his system, which was unexplained because, you know, drugging kids up to have sex with them or whatever. And there was just a breaking story that from a few days ago where apparently they found a farm on Alabama that had an underground bunker full of trafficked children. And in the testimony here, Sasha talks about how before they had Epstein Island, they would rent out farms and have these crazy sex parties all over America. Pretty fucking wild, crazy story.
Google Sasha Riley. And, heads up.
Yeah, go to substack.com and look up Boys Are Hard to Find. That's the name of the article.
Also, neither of us are suicidal. It's worth pointing out.
No. If we commit suicide, we didn't actually commit suicide.
And if the podcast disappears off the face of the earth, then you know why.
Yeah, there are like tweets about Sasha Riley on X that have like trending numbers, but Sasha Riley itself, the hashtag is not trending at all. Yeah, so I think they're actually
Elon knows.
They know what's up. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, here on the Substack there are 6 audio files totaling like 4 hours plus of audio testimony where Sasha goes into gory, gruesome detail about everything. It's really fucked up,
guys.
Have
you listened to
I listened to some of it, and it's pretty fucked up. Like, do your own research. Look into this a bit
wade
more.
into that.
Yeah, wade into that cesspool. But yeah, just a reminder, this is the reason why Trump is doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Anything to distract from this kid's face haunting his dreams.
Is there, like, come on. Is there no, like, way to find this, like, heinous, you know, kind of crap with Trump in the dark web or something? Russia, if you're listening,
please, somebody hack the FBI.
What's
get
Edward
a hold of
Snowden
those tapes.
doing?
He literally said there is videos. There's CP and there's snuff films, like video evidence of all this happening.
Edward Snowden, if you're listening,
and there's implications of like adoption agencies as well, that they're like part of it. Which, you know, there's a lot of missing kids in America. This would explain a lot of stuff. Anyway, we're getting really deep into tinfoil hat territory now. I feel like I'm turning into Alex Jones right now. But
well, I don't think Alex Jones usually has Substack.
Yeah, speaking of which, what the fuck is Alex Jones doing? This is the kind of shit that he was like.
His Labubu
this
did
is the shit.
6'7".
This is the shit that buttered his bread for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, but
what's he doing now?
Labubu did a 6'7".
Come on,
That's
dude.
what Alex Jones cared. Put the clip.
My Labubu. This is the shit that he's all about, right? Why is he not talking about this? Why is nobody talking about this?
Conspiracy brain people can't face it because it's their side.
Yeah, like they elected like one of the big ringleaders of this whole
now they have to own it.
They're so fucking stupid, man.
Getting Americans to face their own dissonance is like one of the hardest challenges.
Anyway, release the Epstein files.
Some other files did get released, leaked, one could say. Reported by the New Republic, another Tuskegee. Leaked docs reveal CDC is funding a deadly study in Africa, a horrific hepatitis experiment on babies.
Whoa, doing horrible things to children? Wow, that seems to be a pattern with this administration, huh?
The health newsletter Inside Medicine attained the protocols for a study receiving $1.6 million to experiment on babies in Guinea-Bissau. The experiment is a, quote, randomized controlled trial to assess the effects of neonatal hepatitis B vaccination on early life mortality, morbidity, and long-term developmental outcomes. The comparison to Tuskegee, in which the U.S. government let syphilis go unchecked in African Americans in Alabama for 40 years from 1932 to 72, came from an unnamed CDC official who spoke to Inside Medicine anonymously. We're allowing children, infants, to be exposed to hepatitis B when we could prevent it, and then follow them for 5 years to see what happens. That's not even long enough to see the long-term benefits, but might be long enough to find some non-specific effects.
So it's not even gonna.
It's not a good.
They're
trial.
not even conducting the experiment properly.
No. Ethical concerns at the time the funding grant was announced last December. Professor Martin McKee of the London School of Hygiene said that it quote, has set alarm bells ringing in the global health community. Yeah.
No shit.
And the non-specific effects of vaccines, as mentioned previously, is language straight from Health Secretary RFK Jr.'s echo chamber. As he and his fellow anti-vaxxers make unfounded claims that many vaccines have unknown harmful effects. So they're just going to study and look for non-specific effects. That's
just looking for something.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
They don't even know what they're looking for.
The study is also flawed because Hep B causes serious problems later in life, not shortly after birth. So trying to measure mortality and morbidity is not likely to yield any useful conclusions right away. Plus, none of the vaccines in the study are FDA approved, raising the question of why the CDC is funding a study of vaccines that aren't even available to Americans.
What the fuck are they even doing?
Oh my god.
RFK. I could see the brain worm right there. I know it's a vein, but oh my god.
The vein worm.
The vein worm.
Yeah, so this is where what America's doing, we got
this is Elon, the unhealthiest man I've ever seen in my life.
It's like Elon laughing about, we accidentally cut funding for Ebola. Everyone needs that, but like Hep B is like terrible too, guys.
America is gonna get so filthy and gross.
It's already filthy and gross. You've just not been there for a few years. I've been there, and I can tell you that America is definitely gross? Filthy and gross. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. However, the $1.6 million grant could instead be used to vaccinate Guinea-Bissau's children for a decade against Hep B, calling into question the usefulness of this experiment. Oh boy, wow. Usefulness?
Yeah, instead they're using $1.6 million to give people give children hepatitis instead of preventing it.
Let's go.
This opposite world.
I like that article right below. RFK Jr. will let us all die just to make a buck.
Yep. 1,000,000%.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Yeah. Oh, we were just kind of talking about Musk a little bit, or at least I kind of mentioned him. International backlash.
From London?
Beginning in London. Starmer rallies international support to take on Musk. Tech billionaire says threat to ban social media site over sexualized AI images as censorship. Yeah, that's the only word he knows. His stupid Grok machine is churning out like lewd images of everyone from children to politicians. Mm-hmm. And it took politicians, women in prime minister positions being crudely depicted before any countries decided to get involved. So now
no one cares about the sexualized children on there.
No,
whatever. But now that politician,
is the first one to be like, let's really turn the tide on this. And this really feels like it's going along with the anti-American push. Like they just have to wrap these movements. No Musk, no America. That's what they need in Europe. So we don't really have a lot of laws on the books right now regarding AI use, period. Like there's laws against like revenge porn already. But in terms of like generating fake images of people or like sexual images of real things, this is pretty much uncharted territory. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the UK and the EU do on this, because they've definitely been doing more on the front of like internet legislation in the last couple of years. So hey, remember they did whip Apple into dumping the lightning cable and switching to USB-C. So true. I do have hope that they will be able to whip some sense into AI and what's allowed, calling it like, as Musk always being like, it's censorship. I should be able to make as much porn of children as I want with my crazy porn generation machine.
Yeah, that's freedom.
Yeah, that's
America.
That's America.
Yeah. Don't tread on me.
Someone needs to check Elon's hard drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. So some anti-Musk Nazi ex Grok. What was the Mecha Hitler? Grok and Mecha Hitler? Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. Just remember that Grok also signed a multi-million billion-dollar deal with the U.S. military, remember?
I do remember.
Yeah.
That.
Great.
All right, here's the little Israel section.
Relating to the Board of Peace earlier.
Yeah.
So actually, this is kind of like a multi-section. I'll read the next tab first, because I want to go over the member list.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so 0 Palestinians or Arabs or Muslims on the board that was announced, the executive board for the Gaza peace thing. Only 1 non-American present, Tony Blair, a guy who should be on trial for war crimes relating to Iraq, instead of like being put in charge of Palestine. Do you want to read the rest of the list?
Marco Rubio, Little Rubio, Steve Witkoff.
He's in the admin.
Jared Kushner.
Ivanka's husband.
Tony Blair, Mark Rowan, Ajay Banga, and Robert Gabriel. Yep, not a single Palestinian in sight.
Or Arab.
Nope.
Or Muslim.
Nope.
And that was a tweet from Mehdi Hassan that we were reading. But yeah, so that's just a little overview of the board. But you would think, okay, Trump handpicked these people, so it's very American interests or very Trump cabal of secret pedophile friends.
Not even secret anymore.
Yeah, not really. I mean, Tony Blair is probably still a secret, but we'll see.
Yeah.
However long we give that. But anyway, you might think, oh, okay, well, that seems like terrible and awful and bad for Palestine, right? But you know who else doesn't like the Board of Peace?
Israel!
Israel pushes back on Trump's picks, according to the BBC, published 2 days ago by Rachel Muller-Heindick.
Israel's leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, has convened a meeting with his top advisors to discuss Donald Trump's Board of Peace for Gaza after Israel said it was not included in talks about the makeup of one of the board's lower bodies.
Ha!
Wow, they just completely
How does it
bypassed
feel
Israel?
to not be involved in bullshit fake talks this time, huh?
Netanyahu's office said that this was not coordinated with Israel and runs contrary to its policy.
Tough days, baby.
What policy?
Kill every brown person in sight.
The Board of Peace is part of Trump's 20-point plan to end the Israel-Hamas
Yeah, the
war.
20-point plan is crap.
And is expected to temporarily oversee the running of Gaza. Bullshit. The exact structure of the board, which will also manage Gaza's reconstruction, remains unclear, and members are... this is just... Nothing has been put
The
in
Gaza
place.
Executive Board will be responsible for overseeing all the on-the-ground work of yet another administrative group, the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, INSCAG. A second body, the Founding Executive Board, which also includes Kushner and Blair, will have a high-level focus on investment and diplomacy. Hey, I thought you guys didn't like bureaucracy. This is exactly bureaucracy.
Oh, there is one Israeli member on the board.
Yeah.
Yakir Gabay, a businessman born in Israel and now based in Cyprus.
He doesn't even live in Israel.
Oh, God.
Israel's opposition leader Yair Lapid called the announcement a diplomatic failure for Israel. Oh. Wow. Israel's far-right national security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, the guy who is like a genocidal monster who should be either publicly executed or held on trial for war crimes and then publicly executed, said, quote, "The Gaza Strip does not need any administrative committee to oversee its rehabilitation," in air quotes. It needs to be cleansed of Hamas terrorists. Cleansed. He knows what he's saying. He wants all the dead Palestinians, all the Palestinians to die. Yeah. That's straight up what he believes, and it's because he's a Nazi.
Yes.
Let
that sink in, people. That is a Jewish man using language such as cleansing a group of people.
Yeah. If I was to see Itamar Ben-Gvir in public, I don't know if I'd be able to restrain myself. It's like seeing what's his face? What's the old dead German guy who just died like a year ago? It's like if you were to see Kissinger in public, you know, it's like, yeah, he's a frail old man, but you really still need to push him down those stairs for Cambodia. Yeah, exactly.
Just trip him, you know. Yeah, he's probably got a walker.
Oopsie daisy. Yeah, just like that. But Itamar Ben-Gvir, he might go down with a bit more of a fight. The Board of Peace members that have been invited, this is for the $1 billion membership fee. I guess this is the list of people that we know have publicly been invited. UK, Hungary, Argentina, Jordan, Turkey, India, Egypt, Russia, and Canada. Those are the ones that we know.
Yeah.
What a...
Yeah, speaking of which, like we said earlier, Mark Carney said that he agreed with Trump's plan on principle, but that the details were still being worked through. So yeah, he's just like, sure, buddy, why not?
Yeah.
Throw him a bone.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
A U.S. official confirmed that countries could still join on a 3-year membership without paying anything. Okay. So dumb.
It's just a joke. This whole thing is a joke.
Why can't the world just, agree on this? That, we need to stand up against America, against Israel, against these interests that are, poisoning the, conversations against our own interests. Like, we need to smarten up. It's so tiring.
News from Argentina.
There were some big wildfires out in the Patagonia region, and it has come out that they were started by Israelis who were flinging cigarettes and matches just for fun in the forest because there's lots of resources that they want to extract.
Yeah. Israel has set its eyes on Argentina as...
Which makes sense because they have a really dumb, bad, like, far-right leader guy who's an idiot, Millet. So he'll more than happily let any country walk all over them so that he can get some money out of the deal, right? So we have a little clip here from Argentinian TV.
It's probably going to be...
Probably in Spanish, so I'll just read what he is saying. We are no longer shocked when they set Patagonia on fire. We know it's intentional. We are absolutely clear about it, that there are powers involved. They have real estate interests. They have mining interests. And it's something that lately they do right in our faces and don't even try to hide it. They don't hide it at all because they have everyone and everything on their side. That's it. And yeah, he's right. So when that happens and, you know, talks fail, what do?
You fight.
Yeah, if they're setting fires willy-nilly, then you gotta
set them on fire.
Get the gilly-tilly.
No, it's eye for an eye. Douse them in gasoline and
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you could immolate them. That would be fun.
Burn them at the stake for days.
And it was confirmed by CNN Chile that it was Israelis.
Yes, this is not just speculation.
And
this is real.
People called it anti-Semitic conspiracy in the days leading up to it.
Yeah.
But I guess the locals in Argentina already knew because they live with it. So they were the ones saying it. The world was like, no. And then the news press was actually like, we've done research and determined that the locals are correct.
Yeah. So this is from Sean King on Twitter. For days, people have called me an anti-Semite for saying what local people have been saying. Now CNN is confirming it. An Israeli set a massive fire in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and they're setting fires in multiple locations across South America. It's kind of ironic how, you know, the Nazis fled to South America, and now the Israelis seem to be doing the same thing.
Is funny.
I don't know. It seems to be a hot destination for fleeing dictators.
They just can't get away from each other.
Yeah, I know. Their fates are intertwined.
Yeah, they love
it's
each other.
destiny.
But as with Israel not knowing how to respect international rules or rule of law, for the first time in the history of the United Nations, Israel took over a building of the UN RWA headquarters in Jerusalem, bulldozed the buildings, and raised its flag over the rubble. This violates Article 52 of Additional Protocol Geneva Conventions and the UN Charter, which stipulates that, quote, the property and assets of the UN, wherever located, shall be immune. Another violation of international law broadcast live. Yeah, the Israelis are getting so emboldened by this, man. Like, we are so close to some kind of a, like, greater conflict breaking out.
Yeah, nothing's gonna come of this either.
No,
I think until the big whatever it is comes.
Yeah, big whatever.
The big whatever. They're dodging consequences so much that, like, when karma finally comes knocking, it's gonna be
it'll be brutal,
fucked, man.
It'll be brutal. Like,
the problem is the rest of the world's probably gonna go down with it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we deserve for allowing it to go on this long.
Just
we are all implicit to a degree because, like, the countries, governments have normalized this atrocity after, like, teaching us that, you know, stuff like the Holocaust was so bad, but it just goes on constantly in countries that are just not considered as worthy of respect, and so it's okay.
Yeah,
but it's not okay, and every human life is, you know, valuable. A Palestinian child, Renee Good, they're all important, and they all deserve the fair chance to succeed in a world with, having their needs met and not be in a fight for survival, just to, like, live, just for basic stuff. And Israel is an obstacle to that. America is an obstacle to that. Capitalism itself is an obstacle to that. That's because when you talk about how do you improve people's lives, there's no cheap way to do it. That's exactly it's capitalism that disincentivizes that. So the entire system has to be, like, ripped out by the roots. That's it.
All right, starting off the right-wing trash section with a bang. They can only bury the Epstein files for so long, so it looks like Nick Fuentes seems to be the canary in the coal mine for the PSYOP to try to normalize pedophilia on the right. I think
diminish the damage.
Yeah, they're trying to do damage control. And
Well,
I think
remember they're
using Nick Fuentes as a fall guy.
Well, they tried already like a month ago. Lauren Ingram or what was no, it was the other blonde one, Megyn Kelly, on her show. She was like, that's not pedophilia because they're like 11.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like 13.
13, 15. It's ephebophilia, technically.
Yeah, and so like when she said that, all the late night guys like roasted Megyn Kelly. But now that it needs to be palatable to the rabid online right, who do they get to try and make the same ephebophilia comment?
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, should play this.
Yeah.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like...
Yes, they were, actually.
Not legal.
There's video. There's photos.
In my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there. Okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish
They were still
spy,
trafficked.
probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there. He's
It's
working
interesting
with
too
Israeli
that like
intelligence.
he is, while he is defending the pedophilia, he is still opposing Israel and still providing like an off ramp to the Epstein stuff. Like, oh, Epstein was bad because he worked for Israel, not Epstein was a bad person. Therefore, Israel wanted to work with him.
Yeah. Also, one of the most infamous photos from the heavily redacted Epstein files was a photo of Epstein naked in a towel next to a child in a chair.
A child?
A child, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Nick
for
doesn't
real.
know what he's talking
So yes,
about.
they were
Shocker.
trafficking 5-year-olds, as a matter of fact.
And
And
also,
according to Sasha Riley's testimony, they were doing way worse than just trafficking them.
Also, this distinction's so stupid. Like, I don't know if people grew up with middle schools or not, but if you didn't, then you know that like elementary school is like up to grade 7 or 8. So it's like those are 13, those are 12-year-olds in the same place as like 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you going to be the person to actually try and make an argument that those are different kinds of children or that they should be classed as different kinds of like people? What are you talking about? You sound like a crazy person, and maybe, just maybe, you're a pedophile yourself. Sorry, Nick.
I know
Another Nick clip.
I know this one's a little long, but there's a part where he talks about like Epstein being like a cool guy.
Oh boy.
Me, Epstein Island? I would never. And it's like, dude, you're telling me Jeffrey Epstein was probably so cool. Like, he was probably the coldest, coolest guy you know. You're telling me the coolest guy you know who knows everybody says, hey, we're going to go on my private jet to my private island. We got hot girls. He doesn't tell you how old they are. How fucking lame would you be? Are they 18? Like, who's going to be the nerd that asks that? You
Can
probably
someone
would just
please
assume
punch
they
this
are.
guy in the face?
Or that it's
I
in
am
international
begging you.
waters, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
he needs one.
But like,
Please!
you're telling
somebody.
me you would automatically say,
That
no,
hand is doing
no,
way too
like
much
you
work.
don't know what's going on. All everybody knew was that he was the coolest guy in town.
Hey, free pussy's free
The
pussy.
coolest
Who
guy
cares
in
if
town says,
they're
hey,
unconscious?
I'm rich, private island, private jet, hot girls all week. Let's go. Great food. You're telling me you'd be like, are they, Jeffrey, are they all 18 though? You're telling me you would be the nerd that would ask that? You have the balls to say that?
Yeah, it's so insulting to call someone who cares that a person is old enough to consent a nerd. Yeah. Oh my God. You don't want to have sex with a child? You don't want to rape a child? You are a nerd.
Yeah. Did you see him and fucking Andrew Tate and like a bunch of other losers?
This pose that you have it paused on makes him look like mildly in between the thought where he's like, what am I saying right now? You know, it looks weirdly pensive.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. Fuentes, Andrew Tate, Sneeko, and a bunch of other right-wing losers went out for a little night on the town like last Saturday, and there was like video of it, and they just look like the biggest group of losers. Oh my God.
Yeah. What a weird
sitting in the
thing to
corner,
try and...
vaping, looking on their phones. There's one video clip where like one of the people like leans over to Nick Fuentes and is like, I want to bring some girls back to our place. Is that okay? And Nick is like, nah, I'm good, man. because he's gay, and he's not even trying to hide it anymore. Fuck, man.
That's funny. Okay, I guess kind of going in with a little bit of a conspiracy angle of similar sorts. There's this thought of a technocratic America. This language was used in a document by the administration in regards to the Board of Peace in Gaza, or whatever the hell, And so I have this tweet here. I have not quite
familiar.
done the full research into this myself, but my understanding is that the technate of America is a part of a Hitlerian Nazi-esque conspiracy to reestablish this sort of world order in North America and extending down to the top of South America, i.e. Venezuela, but not Brazil. So this is kind of like the petro state of North America in a lot of ways, because it's got all the minerals. This is ridiculous. And in the context of this Twitter post that I found, they mention it because Elon Musk's grandfather immigrated not to the US, but to Canada, and was the head of Technocracy Inc. And this belief system for America to be like this, North America, supercontinent country, is called the technate of America. And the map on screen we have right now shows everything from Greenland to Venezuela as being a part of it.
One thing I did notice that's different from the America map we showed earlier is that in that version, Mexico is not part of it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny.
So this quote tweet I have on screen right now is in the context of someone asking, WTF is a technocratic government, as a response to a Trump truth where he's talking about people in the board and stuff. Chairman of the Board of Peace, I am backing a newly appointed Palestinian technocratic government. And so someone online was just like, what does technocratic mean? And so that's what this post is trying to explain a little bit.
Technocracy.
Go to the replies. Here's more about Elon's Nazi dad.
Or Nazi grandfather.
Or not,
It would be May Musk's.
That's true.
That's his mom, right? Yeah.
Joshua Halderman was a pathologically racist weirdo who moved his family from Canada to apartheid South Africa in 1948 and spent 15 years looking for a lost white civilization before dying in a plane crash. So, very interesting sort of fellow.
Yeah. Very interesting ties.
Oh, I see a reply there.
Has.
Huh? Yep. Have you read the self-published book on... Yeah, he had self-published books like himself. They're full of racist comments.
Sins of the Grandparents? Is this Is this his book?
Mind War?
What the fuck
Mind-war.com. Sins of the Grandparents. Joshua Haldeman and the Conspiracy. Rotting Teeth in Alberta. Fluoride. Whoa.
How fluoride, RFK Jr., provincial Canadian politics, and the richest man collide. Right. Well, we are definitely not reading this because this is an entire rabbit hole unto itself.
It's just a bit insane.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, there's the Nazi talking about Nazi stuff.
Yeah.
People take pride in Germany and being German. Yep, they sure do. We don't do that kind of thing here in Germany.
So, yeah, just a little bit of a sample there. I'll get back to you with more information on what this is about. But, yeah, just something to put out there. The technate of America. And kind of relating to the Greenland mentioned moments before, here's a clip of Ted Cruz in 2016 talking about the dangers of Trump being in office. What might happen?
We need someone with judgment and the temperament to keep this country safe. I don't know anyone who would be comfortable with someone who behaves this way having his finger on the button. I mean, we're liable to wake up one morning and Donald, if he were president, would have nuked Denmark. That's not the temperament of a leader to keep this country safe. We need a president who will have the back of our fighting men and women, who will have their back.
Unironically, if Lion Ted Cruz could come out on the right side of this Venezuela and Greenland issue, is that that clip would potentially angle him for a presidential run, opposing the Trump regime of foreign wars and invading. Wow. But I don't know if Ted's got the spine for that.
Wow.
I like this little comic on screen. It's a political cartoon. This is actually a little clip of the cartoon. The full one is in the replies. But it's Maria Karina Bettina Bastista Carata Patata Hakuna Matata groveling as a worm to Trump's feet, saying, Mr. Trump, with her Nobel Prize. worthless, useless, pathetic woman. Honestly, I don't think that there's anyone in the last year who I learned about that I regret learning about as much as Maria Karina, or who I am like upset that I was forced to learn who she was, because she doesn't matter. Like she hasn't done anything. She didn't win the election. She's not the head of the opposition in Venezuela even.
It's AI slop, by the way.
The whole comic is AI slop, you think?
I don't know.
Some of those angles are kind of, it looks a little too...
I don't know.
Is there an artist signature?
Yes, there is. Okay, maybe the original image really is just
maybe
this.
They extended it, you think?
Yeah, so it is just this.
Mm-hmm. And from countries, we go to a whole continent. iShowSpeed's been on an Africa whirlwind tour, and boy, howdy, did he get a surprise when he went to Botswana, the diamond capital of the world, and tried to buy a diamond. What kind of stupid idiot goes to the diamond capital of the world and actually try to buy a diamond there?
Yeah, right.
Now, who do you think owns all the diamonds? Let's watch this neat little clip and find out.
What we do is we sort these diamonds.
Okay, what if I want to buy these? I want to buy one of these diamonds.
If you want to buy one of these diamonds.
Yeah, who do I talk to?
You'd have to talk to DPS or the site holders, because we don't sell. We only have 2 customers.
But I can't be a customer. This is my first time in Botswana.
We can make arrangements for you to buy diamonds. Yes. But these are rough.
Yeah, I know, but what if I want to buy a rough diamond?
No. We only sell rough to 2 customers.
And then maybe you can talk.
Is that part of your contract? Y'all can only sell to those 2 customers.
That's part of the contract.
Okay.
And just to highlight, these are all natural diamonds. So we're selling the natural diamonds too.
Yeah, no fucking shit, it came from the ground.
So these are from the ground, no synthetic, no diamond,
Uh-huh.
no lab work. These are 100% natural diamonds.
From our coal mines in Botswana. We have coal mines.
Fair enough, chap. Fair enough. I guess we can't buy a diamond here.
Wait, is this your first time touching a diamond?
I think maybe. Maybe. Like a real diamond.
Yeah.
Wow, they're all really good at pivoting the conversation. You hear the lady, she's like, is this your first time purchasing a diamond? No, he's trying to buy a diamond.
Touching. She said touching.
Oh.
First time touching a diamond.
First time touching a diamond.
Yeah,
Okay,
she is still trying to deflect, though.
Yeah, all the deflection. Yeah, De Beers, gee whiz, it's almost like colonization didn't end and countries just became companies instead. Wow, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad was a goldsmith for a bulk of my life, so I've heard the complaints about the diamond industry all throughout my life. And yeah, it's from the ground, it's not lab grown. Diamonds aren't worth anything. It's carbon. But it's good, I like that iShowSpeed is using his Twitch platform to expose his young audience to the terrible colonized world around them.
Yep, he's using it for a good cause. Good on him.
This is a right-wing piece of trash, all right. So it's just a piece of slop journalism from the Rolling Stone magazine talking about how the October 7th hostages revealed that music helped them hold on. From Frank Sinatra to Avenged Sevenfold, songs brought refuge, connection, and sanity to their time in captivity. Oh, we're not going to read the slop, but we have this funny little clip here from a quote tweet. Someone said, Eat the document. Eat the document. Rolling Stone used to publish worthwhile music criticism and interviews, and now they just say women aren't allowed to sing in Gaza and call it a day. You want to read that?
Singing above ground was risky, particularly for women, as it's haram, forbidden by Islamic law, for a female to sing in public. Wow.
Such bullshit, man. Come on. The Israeli slot machine is just calling in every favor they can with every publication. We're not buying it. And we don't have sympathy for the October 7th hostages.
Yeah, well,
if you have a goddamn music festival beside Auschwitz, you do not get sympathy when the Auschwitz prisoners break out and kill as many of you as possible.
Yep, exactly.
So fuck off and eat shit, actually.
Yeah, Rolling Stone, what a joke. I can't believe they have a shred of credibility.
No, I can't.
They've been wrong. Just look at their old music reviews. Look at their review of Led Zeppelin's first album. They've been completely off the mark since the very beginning. So,
the only reason they're still around is because they got a name that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess in further right-wing encroachment in our lives, ADL leader Jonathan Greenblatt, a certified Zionist pig, had a really brutal press conference the other day saying all sorts of crap that went viral. But in this clip, we've got him talking about anyone who is against Israel is going to have their accounts monitored from social to bank accounts. Hit it, Jonathan.
Jeez.
Tell us what the future awaits for anyone who doesn't support your monstrous Zionist, genocidal, death cult Nazi regime.
So number one, we measure and track. Number two, we monitor and disrupt. We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts working full time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, monitoring extremists. We monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency, podcasts, short form video, Wikipedia, LLMs. We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI. You saw last month, you heard about the thing that happened at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. Our analysts investigated what happened. They said they were Koreatown for Palestine, this group of people. They weren't. We were able to ascertain they were from a group called the Turtle Island Liberation Front. Turtle Island is how left-wing activists refer to the United States. They don't call it America, they call it Turtle Island, like the Iranians call it the Zionist entity, right? They only call it by its name. The Turtle Island Liberation Front, we gave them a whole dossier. What is Turtle Island Liberation Front? What are their ideas, their goals? Who are they? We identified the people who were in the synagogue. This was on Wednesday, December the 10th. On Monday, December the 15th, this is going to ring a bell. Kash Patel announced they cracked a terror ring where they arrested 4 people who were playing New Year's Eve bombings. Turtle Island Liberation Front. At least one of the people I know for certain was in the building at Wilshire Boulevard Temple, vandalizing it and disrupting the event. So we're monitoring left-wing radicals like the DSA and the anti-war crazies and the pro-Palestine crazies. We're monitoring right-wing extremists like white supremacists, armed militia groups. We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them.
So slick to
and then
work in
We're the largest
Palestine
string of law
crazies
enforcement
with
in
white
America,
supremacists and back-to-back.
Yep. Very clever.
So slick, man. I don't think that there's a person in charge of at some bullshit organization that's as terrible as Jonathan Greenblatt is for the ADL. He's proven he doesn't give a shit about real Nazi shit. He didn't care about Nazi stuff when Elon threw up the Hitler salute. So he's a Nazi. He can wear his yarmulke all he wants and he can kiss Bibi Netanyahu's boots all he wants, but he's just another Zionist pig and he should be treated as such.
So this is a funny little anecdote from a CNN clip that Trump is spending $30 billion for more ICE agents, which, that money could be better spent on other things.
Only on 10,000 ICE agents?
Yeah, Jesus.
Where does this end?
I think the scary thing is that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, people forget that Donald Trump has now spent $30 billion from the last bill for 10,000 more ICE agents that are going to be on the streets. I find it ironic that we're having this conversation amidst the healthcare debate. That $30 billion would cover all the ACA subsidies for a year. It would eliminate all co-pays for prescription drugs for people from a year, and would eliminate all medical debt. It's like he's making it easier to kill people than to keep people alive. And I want people in this country to answer a very, very simple question. What is a better use of money? More ICE agents to terrorize our neighbors or to make people more healthy when 60% of all bankruptcies in this country is due to health-related debt?
Absolutely true.
Yep, dead accurate. Dead on.
And now we have, this is what the money's going to, by the way.
Yeah, so this is a reporter, Laura Jadid. A few months ago, ICE hired me. I didn't sign and submit any paperwork. I'm real outspoken about my opinion on the Trump administration. And yet there it was in plain English. Welcome to ICE. My latest for Slate. I recommend everyone please read this article. This woman went to an ICE show, or
Slate.com.
ICE type charade show in Texas. She's a former military person and now a journalist. And so she's like, I'm going to go check it out and see what it was like. And there was virtually no one there. She filled out a little bit of paperwork, gave them an email address or whatever. And even just that was enough to basically be hired out the gate. She didn't have the background checks done. She didn't pass her drug test. She made sure of it. She smoked weed and then did the drug test and they still hired her. So please, if you really want to know how dumb and embarrassing ICE in America is right now, so that you can push back whenever any lying person in the administration is like, they are well-trained, officers that need to be respected.
Nope.
No, most of them are likely white supremacists, Nazis, or abusers who just need a government outlet to be violent and know that they're not going to be actually scrutinized, because this woman proved that there is no scrutinizing. It just reminds me of that Kristi Noem clip from a few weeks back where she, about the vetting process, right?
Mhm.
It's the same thing. They're just like, we don't do any vetting. No vetting. So, yeah. Please go read the article. You've heard about who ICE is recruiting. The truth is far worse, from Slate. Please go read it.
By Laura Jadid.
Yes. It's only a week old today. But we have a little bit of positive news, I guess. OpenAI is rapidly losing money and projected to lose at least $14 billion this year alone. And if they can't get another round of funding, OpenAI could shutter as soon as 2027, which would be just a little delicious.
Where are they getting all this money from?
Well,
if they get it, they probably will get another round of funding.
The American churn machine has made it very hard for companies to actually go bankrupt when they're this big.
Yeah.
But if the world is turning on America and they're not lending as much, then companies exactly like this, the Silicon Valley startups, they're going to be the first ones to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to lose OpenAI, Meta, Facebook, and maybe X in the next up to 5 years, but we'll see. I'd like all three this year. That would be funny. Here's another post regarding that. OpenAI is in the red, and at this rate will run out of money by 27. Yep, like I was saying, having overestimated the profitability of AI. Recent analysis projections include annual losses of around $14 billion this year, and they lost $8 billion last year.
Wow.
Overestimating near-term profitability as high inference and data center expenses continue to dominate despite stronger user adoption. And billions in revenue? No, they don't have billions in revenue. Are you kidding?
way.
They don't even have ads on the platform.
Nope. Cash shortfall as early as mid-2027. Sooner, please.
Yeah, it'll be sooner.
Yeah.
Because if people start to worry, they'll stop. It'll dry up way faster, right? As soon as there's blood in the water, it's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like that's literally it.
Oh,
And hey, what did I just say? There's no ads on the platform, right? Here's a clip of Sam. Let's play the clip first. 14 seconds.
I kind of think of ads as like a last resort for us for a business model. I would do it if it meant that was the only way to get everybody in the world like access to great services. But if we can find something that doesn't do that, I'd prefer that.
Yeah, so that's the same approach that Facebook took initially, right? No ads or whatever. They were like, oh, the users and blah, blah, blah. So here's Sam Altman from 4 days ago, January 16th. We are starting to test ads in ChatGPT free and go.
Ooh.
The new $8 a month option.
Wow,
so
that's always a good
ads in
sign.
the paid tier. Here are our principles. Most importantly, we will not accept money to influence the answer ChatGPT gives you. And we keep conversations private from advertisers.
Yeah, sure you do.
It is clear to us that a lot of people want to use a lot of AI and don't want to pay. So we're hopeful a business model like this can work. An example of ads I like are on Instagram, where I found stuff I like that I otherwise never would have. We will try to make ads ever more useful to users. May I just comment on the sentence structure of this post? Does he speak English? Some of this was written really poorly. Like, an example of ads I like are on Instagram. Like, I don't know where I found stuff I like. You said I like twice. Like, it's too dumb to be AI written. It's a person being like, I like twice.
Yeah, because he uses AI so much, he's forgotten how to write a proper sentence.
I like twice. So yeah, there you go. Everything that's free will not be free one day, and AI is rapidly running out of money. Because I remember even months ago they were like, you can't generate lewd content, and now it's like they're pulling off every stopgap.
Whatever. Yeah, you can. Sure.
Every stopgap they had to try and like quell the world's concerns are being lifted now because they're running out of money and they need to prove the concept. More in shitification news. Tenor, a company that I doubt very many people think of, but when you go to use a GIF on your keyboard, you might have seen the word Tenor, as it's the company that's the middleman between you and those fun little GIFs you like to send. But surprise, Tenor is actually owned by Google. And so they have started to like pivot to some AI crap. So Discord is ending their partnership with Tenor and switching to Giphy and or Clippy, and in an unprecedented move for a big tech company, is actually asking users to weigh in on which option they prefer. So that's interesting. Good for Discord to get the feedback. But yeah, Tenor is toast. So womp womp. And more in shitification, YouTube is slowly deleting all custom subtitles, and YouTube removed a few days ago the ability to search uploads by upload date. So if you're looking for the oldest videos on YouTube, you can't anymore.
Yeah.
That's just so that when they put them all into deep long-term storage to free up space for AI crap, that they're hoping you won't notice if you're not able to find that obscure video from 20 years ago. But you
gotta make room for the slop, you know?
Yeah, so much room for the slop.
Yeah.
This is the official post from YouTube about the date filters being removed.
Yeah, and there's a little community note. Filtering by today, but without the ability to sort, does not result in the ability to view the most recent videos. Yeah.
Yeah, so they lied, or they bullshitted, or they hallucinated because they use AI. Whatever. They're evil, and I can't wait for Google to face some consequences for this. They should have had this monopoly broken up a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And lastly, a little political dunking. JD Vance had a very bad week on Twitter as Connor Eats Pants put Jams Dance Vance in his pants place.
Yeah, what did JD Vance even talk about?
He's pushing back against the
Renee Good stuff. Yeah,
JD
trying to drive
went
the
out
narrative.
on the Caroline.
Oh my
Levitt.
God! Look how
I know.
long this
Don't.
is.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, no way.
He went out on Caroline Levitt's stage and did the lying on her behalf. He was so like brutal. He was like, "We all agree that in the video that woman deserved to die." Like basically what he said.
Yeah. So Connor Eats Pants, the legend himself, says, "Sorry, but you were the only baby ever worth choosing crack over. Every time your mom neglected you was justified. Sorry. Amy Adams sucked in that movie too. Sorry. Nothing you touch ever goes right. You should try some of Elon's medicine sometime. Sorry."
17 million views, 400,000 likes.
Yeah.
In comparison to Jams Dance Vance's 22 million views and 145,000 likes. So Connor's got him ratioed like 2-to-1, over 2-to-1. Yeah, bad week for Jams Dance Vance.
Way more, and a lot more comments too. People are bitching about JD's.
Yeah, like I said, normal
here.
people saw that video and they did not villainize the woman like the admin really wants them to.
Yeah, it's you can't lie like that anymore. There's too. Oh God. Yeah, this is the last little thing we have.
Yes, from Mar-a-Lago, there was a ball of sorts to honor service dogs. I believe was the purpose of this, was to raise money for that sort of thing, or like it was a society that was specifically revolving around this. So the theme was to kind of honor, the animals. So you might imagine, oh, is there going to be like a cute German Shepherd in like a suit and tie or something? No. So do you know what those old like Rococo type pageants and stuff in Europe where the rich would dress up and don these outfits? Yeah, that's what happened. Mar-a-Lago just had a ball where every late night guy called it a furry ball, but I promise you that no furry is dressing like this.
Yeah, first of all, these are all those cheap furry masks that you can get at Spirit Halloween.
They're plastic.
You go to a furry convention,
Rubber.
I guarantee you, fursuits are way more intricate and way more expensive.
Yeah, these
than
are
this.
just stock Spirit Halloween masks.
Yeah, we don't really need to play the clip. You can see it.
People
enough here.
watching the YouTube video are watching this right now like, what the hell is on screen right now? But this was literally at Mar-a-Lago, so.
Yeah. Wow.
Great.
He found me.
Ready to just go right into it?
Monkey!
Ah, monkey! Monkey! Watch the monkey get hurt! And hurt other people.
He did do that.
Yes.
He got hurt first, though.
There was a whole world of hurt.
Hurt monkeys hurt people.
Yeah. So yeah, we just got back from the movies. We got
double feature.
We still got the popcorn. Look,
Cineplex, baby.
Yeah, this is a Woke in the West first. You're gonna hear our opinions on these movies.
Unsponsored, I want to say, despite myself owning shares in Cineplex and being a member of the Cine Club.
Yeah, you're gonna hear our unfiltered opinions on these movies.
You're providing free, crunchy ASMR,
fresh from the movie theater.
The people who don't like chewing are all skipping it. Yeah, so the first movie we watched was...
not this one, but
no.
it's the first one. Do you want to go in order?
It doesn't really matter
Nah,
for
it doesn't
transition
matter.
points or whatever.
This is the most recent one because it's the last one.
This is the most recent one we watched.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with Ben,
Whoa.
our primate sibling, I guess. I don't know. His relationship to the family was like, what is he, a pet and a family member?
He's
in
a pet
cage?
and he's family.
He's wearing clothes, so that makes
Yeah.
him a person, right?
Yeah, well, it's this eccentric rich family.
Yes.
They have a pet chimpanzee, because of course they fucking do.
Well, like, you could think of it as like them having a pet chimpanzee because it's like, privileged whites.
Yeah, but also the patriarch.
angle.
Yeah, the patriarch of the family is a deaf
Yes.
author. He's a famous author.
So that
he
actually
uses
makes
sign
it a
language.
little bit more interesting.
And
because
apparently
monkeys can use sign language.
Yeah, his deceased wife was like a language specialist or
Yeah,
something. So
and she worked with
yeah.
a monkey.
But also, rich people do own exotic pets as well.
Maybe they took the monkey after she died. Maybe he wasn't theirs before.
Yeah.
Because she did die, though.
Maybe.
Who knows how long he had been around.
Yeah.
But anyway, some fucking mongoose shows up.
Yeah, a rabid mongoose. There's a
Little bite.
There's a rabid angle that they take. Spoiler alert. Yeah, the monkey kills people.
Yeah, the
Spoilers.
poster for people watching on YouTube see the tagline, "Something's wrong with Ben." And I didn't know that it was a rabies movie going in.
Because chimpanzees are just naturally evil.
Yeah,
and they
I
just
wouldn't trust
naturally
a chimpanzee around a child.
they naturally turn on humans just on a dime.
Please, Gus.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
Get my chimpanzee.
Yeah,
So, you didn't really need the rabbit angle.
He was working with her.
Yeah, it kind of humanizes
the scene
the
that
chimp a
he's
little bit.
introduced is honestly so scary. I don't even want to spoil it.
No.
But the way that he's introduced, like, oh my god, there's just a chimp roaming this house, and like in places.
It's okay.
It's not really,
he's people.
It's not even a jump scare.
He's got
really.
a shirt on.
He just like emerges from somewhere where you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's just there.
He's just there, like, oh my god, monkey in the house.
Yeah.
And that's even before he's a threat.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always a threat, but
Yeah. So it's basically just Cujo, but with a monkey.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it was pretty good. Like, it was a decent horror film. Yeah. Good scares.
Decent, pretty well executed horror film.
The effects were well done. I'm pretty sure it was like a little person in a suit and maybe like a head as well. And they used CGI for the face, kind of like where the wild things are.
Yeah, some of the kills were also quite exceptionally brutal.
Yeah.
Like they actually showed stuff that I don't think a lot of films would typically show. So points for that. Not the most creatively executed necessarily, but a very good premise done well. And that's good enough for me.
Trying to think, when's the last time I saw like a killer monkey movie? Well, there was the monkey, the Stephen King movie, but that was like a little toy monkey. That wasn't.
Then probably if you're really gonna go broad, then the Jordan Peele one technically has a killer monkey.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking more like Monkey Shines.
From the director of Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero, the master of terror and suspense.
You're not gonna hurt me. I'm part of you.
Monkey Shines, a new leap into terror.
Or maybe like Shockma! Or something like that.
Well, remember
those are all very old.
The Jordan
movies.
Peele one literally has that as a central like factor.
Yes,
to the
but
story.
it's not like the central thing.
It's
like
what motivates the.
It's a catalyst.
The human characters.
Yeah. It's a
to
catalyst.
engage with the unknown.
Yeah.
And does it work out? No spoilers. Go watch Nope.
Watch Nope and watch Primate.
Yeah, but Nope first.
Star is going to fly.
Please tell me that's the last one.
Not exactly.
Oh no, he's hot!
It's a cartoon dog with
Whoa,
muscles.
it's a cartoon dog. He's jacked.
So, in our patriotic duty as Canadians, and one other thing, we went and saw Charlie the Wonder Dog, which was made by Icon Creative Studio here in Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver-based
British Columbia.
Canadian animation
Starring
studio.
Owen Wilson and a whole slew of other voice actors, including one of the My Little Pony girls, ladies, the voice actresses, voicing a character in this movie, though not a major character at all. She's like disappears actually after like a scene. I don't even know if she's in it really, but so this was swell. I really enjoyed this. Better than Zootopia 2.
Whoa, that's a bold statement.
I'm full of them.
This is certainly better than the other movie that came to mind was Dogman. very similar premise of like
it is better than
a dog
Dogman.
with superpowers, and there's an evil cat guy.
Yeah.
But the Dogman has the Dav Pilkey brand attached to it, which is why and it was an American movie, which is why
this movie's a
was done
satire
better.
of America.
Yes, they take the piss out of
Oh my
America.
god, I've
quite
never
a bit.
seen a portrayal of a president quite like this.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but
Yeah.
like they're really quite something.
Yeah, I love it when you leaned over to me and you like, this is a Canadian movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just the way they're taking the piss out of it.
Absolutely no way an American movie would ever make a depiction of the presidency like this. So
Yeah, I love the caricature of the president lady.
I was so impressed with the characterization, the animation in the movie for what they got with the budget. 3 Bryan Adams songs for some reason.
Yeah, Bryan Adams!
But like the way the characters were animated was really what gripped me the most, because I felt like I could see a lot of that like old school Canadian former Nelvana 2D animation talent that had relearned on 3D and had been like collected for this project.
Yeah.
Or that's what I hope anyway. Or potentially even like, because it's such a new studio, it could be younger artists doing a 3D like independent movie for the first time, and they actually want to be more toony about it. Because like if you think about Zootopia, which I am directly comparing it to, how toony is Zootopia really? Like, can we be real for just like a moment? Because like Nick Wilde rolling his eyebrows, and smirking hotly is not necessarily like a Fox like characterism. It's not like a unique trait to roll your eyes and be like kind of attractive and whatever. But like the characterizations for the characters in this movie and the Charlie the Wonder Dog, I thought that they fit really well. It felt like a comic book in a way. Like,
oh yeah, I wonder if this is
very
based on
positive.
anything. I wonder if it's.
I don't
based
know
on
yet.
anything.
Actually,
Yeah,
there's
I
no
never bothered to
Wikipedia
look it
for
up.
this movie.
Yeah,
and in its opening weekend, which was last weekend, because we're recording this on a Tuesday, it made just under $1 million, about 700,000, which put it at 18th place for the box office, above 19th, the Madagascar 20-year re-release, which made 600,000, and it made more money, Charlie the Wonder Dog, than both Wicked in its 6th weekend and FNAF 2 in its like 7th weekend combined. So I don't know. I hope that people see this. In the theater we were in, there was literally 1 child and like maybe 10 adults. Like most of the people in the theater were actually adults, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. And I remember the last time there was a Canadian animated movie, that being the freaking Tupi and Binu. I almost said Max and Ruby. Tupi and Binu animated movie that didn't make any money and just like completely evaporated. But
that was a pretty well animated movie for the record. It
but
was
like
not bad.
I remember the advertising had all the Canadian arts logos slapped all over it, but this one really didn't. Like it has the Creative BC branding in the credits, so it has a little bit of a tax grant, I guess, but that's it. They didn't do much, and I don't know why that is. It's very interesting. Maybe they were trying for a more of a appeal in America. I did get confirmation from my nerd friend in Utah that this film did get some kind of an American distribution, but January is not the greatest time to be in cinemas.
No, that's kind of a dumping ground.
I really hope people see it, though. It was cute. I hope word of mouth is positive.
Yeah.
And like we saw it in the cinema, had a $5 Tuesdays. It's going until the end of February at Cineplex.
Yeah,
like I said,
time.
non-sponsored. So
perfect time.
Please go watch it. There's probably showing it twice a day at your local cinema, if it's anything like ours here in like Coquitlam. So
yeah. Canadian animation loving patriots, it is your duty to watch this film, preferably in theaters.
Yes, even though
give this himbo your money.
Owen Wilson's the only non-Canadian really involved, but like you got to do what you got to do.
You got to get the star power in there.
Yeah, it's fine. He's great. He's like such a good voice actor. He kind of raises all the boats around him. He's good. Even the kid that he's like acting opposite to, I thought the kid was a really good voice actor.
Yeah, really nice.
Yes, great movie. Better than Zootopia.
Whoa. And Dogman.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you. God damn it. Viva la revolution!
Speaking of patriots,
one battle after
another.
By Paul Thomas Anderson.
The wokest film I've seen since Sinners. This movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah, this was great,
Yeah.
actually. I didn't know what it was about, and then I got it kind of spoiled in a 1-sentence like summary by Philip DeFranco, and then I was like, oh, I'm extremely piqued now. And then we watched it, and boy, howdy, is it freaking brutal. It's intense. Like, I don't know, I don't want to sound like a critic on a poster of a thrill ride, but like, Boy,
a
howdy.
thrill a minute action set.
Is this the film that America needs to be
America,
forced to sit down and watch?
Take notes, America. This is what you should be doing right now.
And like notes on a pad and paper, not your phone.
Yes,
Don't
not
put
on your phone
out in the cinema,
yes,
please.
Yes.
Don't. Just take the movie in, listen to what they're saying, and act accordingly.
Yeah, this is basically dark woke the movie.
Yeah,
yeah. If you're sick and tired of the Trump administration and their bullshit, watch this movie. You'll get some nice.
You'll
catharsis.
be motivated.
Oh yes, oh yes.
And so now the question becomes: will this win Oscars like the last time Hollywood was like, "Please pay attention," which was like 2 years ago with Don't Look Up, which was we were gonna attempt a double feature, but we didn't have time because these are like 2.5 hour plus movies, which is kind of like, oh, that's 5 hours for 2 movies. So,
well, the problem is that this movie doesn't just tackle superficial left-leaning, identity politics or whatever. This is some real like class consciousness shit.
Yeah,
this is some real like dark woke shit. So I don't know. I think the Academy might be too scared to throw it a bone.
It's true. It'll be interesting to see what the actual nominations are because we already know that like Sinners is getting screwed left and right. So I don't know. This one seems to be picking up a little bit more buzz. I think Sean Penn and Leo are helping with that certainly. But Regina Hall is in this movie. If anyone,
Leo DiCaprio, of course,
has
Sean
seen
Penn,
Scary Movie.
Yep,
it's very cool to see her.
Oh
in this role.
Benicio del Toro's in it as well. Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah,
star-studded cast.
Fucking awesome movie.
I can't believe this didn't make more money in cinemas.
Well, of course they're not going to promote this.
Yeah,
it's too scary. But yes, watch this fucking movie. It is awesome.
Yep.
We're not going to spoil anything. Just watch it.
Absolutely no spoilers.
Watch it.
Watch
it. Live it.
I was spoiled even for that, but yeah, please watch it. This poster is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like the picture of Leo standing there, like kind of disheveled.
Yeah, he's fucking so good in this movie.
If Leo wins
this movie's really
another
funny.
Oscar for this, it is really funny.
It's not just a kick-ass action movie. It's actually got some really funny shit in it.
Yes. Oh yeah. Fun for the whole family. Made to be watched by the American family, Clockwork Orange style. If things comes to that.
Yeah. When Reconstruction 2.0 comes around, this is gonna be forced required viewing in the camps.
I replied to someone online the other day. They had a list of like things that they're like, I think all of these ideas would improve society. Do you have any? And like this person's really nice and chill, so I added my idea, which was just like, fuck it, bring back Reconstruction. And this time all the states.
Yeah. So yeah. Pretty kick-ass movies coming out recently.
Yes, the next big wave will be in February, at least with GOAT. We'll be watching that for sure. I don't know what else exactly. I'll have to take a look at the list. Well, and who knows what's going to happen next, of course. We'd very much like to not see a Greenland invasion. I think that we will not be recording for the next 10 days.
I should probably mention that I'm moving.
Yeah, so the next big date beyond that is Feb 1st, which is when the tariffs on the EU should kick in. I was postulating while we were consuming food and watching the Mark Carney speech that on February 1st, when Trump puts his stupid 10% tariff on those 8 countries, that maybe those 8 countries plus Canada, Australia, New Zealand, anyone who really wants to like hit them where it hurts, they should all lock arms on Feb 1st, take advantage of the time zone difference, hog the spotlight, suck it up the air from the Trump administration, stupid showboat crap for attention, and do a unified 25% tariff minimum across the board on all American goods and exports. Stop processing any visa applications from the states until we can figure out, the global community, what is going on in America. It's the same excuse that Trump did with the Muslim ban, right? We can't do it till we figure out what the hell's going on. So yeah, we can't safely, consider America a partner in any capacity until we can figure out what is going on. And until then, so anyway, no, this is just my fantasy. So we're probably not going to record again until after February 1st.
And we'll be in a new location.
Yeah, it's going to be this is the last episode with this set.
Yeah.
So it's going to be up to editor Eric to figure out how that layout's going to work because the new room is not big.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny.
The layout of the new place
The
is
new
not
room is teeny
satisfying.
tiny.
It does not spark joy.
It does not spark joy.
It's like a brutalist Soviet style building structure, courtesy of like the BC housing. So yeah, I mean it's great that the rent's controlled, but the building could stand to have a little bit more life in it.
Yeah, well, it's gonna get some personality.
Yeah, people are moving in now, so maybe that'll add some life.
Yeah.
But like,
you got to give it some time to rot.
can we like cover the like concrete, man? Like, do we really need barefaced concrete?
Yeah.
So, yeah, goodbye to this old building and this old set.
Yes.
It's a new era for Woke in the West. Maybe we'll come back double refreshed, even hotter than before.
Yeah. And
Canada
I
is
wonder
the hottest
I wonder
country.
what other major events will happen in between recording episodes. Maybe Trump will die or something. Who knows?
Oh, pull something out of your ass.
Pull something up, yeah.
Let's see. So we know that Feb 1st is the deadline thing for the sale of Greenland. So will there be a Greenland invasion before or on Feb 1st? Well, I guess we'll see how the next few days go.
Somebody leak the Epstein files, please. I know it's got to be on a hard drive somewhere.
Someone of importance pick up the Sasha Riley story. How about that?
Yes. Yes.
How about we get a full hour sit down on CNN or something,
With
or
Sasha
in
Riley?
Canada?
Yeah.
Since that reporter was Canadian, why
Yeah.
not do it on Canadian TV? We are the ones who aired the CCOT special safely, which, by the way, actually, totally out of order now. The CCOT did air. The segment did air now in a newly edited sort of form. Not a big difference because obviously the fact that the one got out, they could compare it. They're like, oh no, it's a bad look if we like chop it up now, right? So it didn't change that much, but it did air. So what big historical events can happen between then and now? I would love to see, again, with the united action against the United States, we need to withdraw from FIFA, international community, anyone who cares about human rights, and withdraw athletes from the Olympics, again, until we can figure out what the hell's going on. And Carney, maybe you can rub elbows with those Olympic committee guys and FIFA and get more of those games. Move them all here. We have the capacity. We hosted with the Winter Games in 2010. I don't remember the last time Summer Games were hosted in Canada, if we ever did. I think Calgary might have hosted it before, or maybe they also hosted Winter. I don't know.
Yes, in the Olympics, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, there was a Calgary Games, I believe.
Yeah,
in
summer,
like
winter. I don't know.
88, I think. I think it was winter of 88.
Okay, so also winter. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Mexico can take summer. We'll take winter. But like, let's just like fucking cut off the U.S. guys. Like, let's see the global community grow a pair in the next 2 weeks at least. Come on, I'm giving you guys 2 weeks. 2 weeks notice to grow a pair.
Let Mark Carney's words rouse some form of patriotism in you guys. Come on.
Collective action.
Yes.
That's the only way they'll learn. Let's crash their economy, guys. This is the year that we finally end the American hegemony. Let's do it together. In the West! Woo! Very woke-like.